The more you supported the show, I'd be less sick of podcasts.
I thought you were playing.
The blah blah blah.
Sending out good vibes. Good vibes. Good vibes. Good vibes. Good vibes.
108 breaths of deep
This is your
gratitude and
standard
prayers for
intro
guidance and
jingle
protection.
anyways.
And put on a didgeridoo
Yeah,
and
most of the
shamanic
time.
drumming track. Shivers
I
and
don't have the
vibrations and
actual
stuff like
intro
that.
on here.
108 breaths of deep gratitude and prayers for guidance and protection. And put on
Too
a
much of me
didgeridoo
on there.
and
Too much.
shamanic
There's too
drumming
much of you on the
track.
show, but I mean, what are we gonna do?
Shivers
There's
and
only two of us, so there's bound to be too much of one of us.
Gratitude and prayers for guidance.
Okay, guys, welcome to the 400th episode. We finally hit number 400. A little bit before we hit 7 years.
Yep.
7 years is coming up in a couple of months. Here we are at our 400th episode. Should have taken like 8 years to get to 400, but we got to 400 prior to 7 years because we release so much content and we do it all for
We're
free.
gonna do some more extra stuff coming up.
Some more extra
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but first of all, we should thank all the listeners for sure. I mean, like honestly,
Absolutely.
people that have been with us for a while, or even the new people, just people that are willing to, I don't know, learn about the stuff we're learning about. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. Again, we're having trouble with the YouTubes. Half the people are saying they're getting muffled weird
so
things.
weird.
I don't know what to do about that. Everything's fine on our end. And if I play with it, it seems to stop working for the other people. So,
That happened earlier tonight too, with half the people that couldn't seem to hear it, or at least some. So, anyways, we'll figure out what's going on with the sound, and then we'll start taking some calls, and maybe people can talk about what they feel like is the most important stuff to talk about. We're just willing to talk about anything. Lots of big, heavy stuff happening these days.
Night.
Historic night, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, huh?
We got Michael here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having
helping
me.
with the call. We tried to connect the cell phone directly to the software, but it's not working. So we're just going to go old style speakerphone. Michael's going to help out.
Sweet.
All right. So what's going on there in the chat?
nothing. I was
Darren?
playing. So if I switch it to the one thing, then some people can hear it. Now I twisted it around. A bunch of people are saying it's fine and good. So the best thing I can tell you is if you're having trouble with YouTube, just head over to itsallhappening.net and listen on the radio. We haven't had any trouble on the radio, so maybe you could watch the stream, listen to the radio. I don't know what to tell you. Like I say,
There's nothing to watch either. It's just us.
yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing I heard. So people are saying it sounds bad on their phone, but it's okay if they put in their headphones, and it's okay on a TV, and it's okay on a computer. So I don't know how to defend against that. But anyway.
People actually do it on their you mean their
So
phone
I got
with their
that right.
speakerphone?
That's the number one comment right there.
There's-
The YouTube on my phone sounds horrible, but on my TV is fine.
Wow. Are they on phone speaker? That could be it.
I don't know. I don't know
Or
what to tell
just
you.
headphones are okay?
It's been like that for a while, and there's nothing that we seem to be able to do about it. So, like I say, the radio should have good audio either way. It's allhappening.net. So, okay. I
You
guess
ready to take a call?
Yeah.
I guess we're ready to take some calls. Let's just go straight to the calls. We're getting some calls, so we'll just go
Try and
straight to
keep
the
it
lines.
to like 5-10 minutes.
Problem is he can't hear though.
Yeah, he'll
if
hear
he's
us.
on speaker, he'll hear us.
Hello? Oh, you got to put it on speaker.
You had to put it on.
I did put it on speaker.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, there you are.
Hey, it's John. What's up? You guys have a call-in show? I figured I'd call in.
Oh, hey, John.
How you doing, buddy? Good to hear
Hey,
from you.
John.
Doing well, Darren and Graham. How y'all both doing?
Good, good. Yeah, we talked about. Is this John Briston on the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, buddy. Yeah, we talked about you on the on another show there with Mark Sloan.
Do you want to bring in someone else?
No, one at a time. Yeah, we were just talking about your last show.
I missed that episode. What Mark Sloan say? What were y'all talking about?
We were talking about the cancer industry and red light therapy and sugar and gut health and diet came up, and he had some sort of contrary views to what we were thinking recently about sugar and stuff like that. So Darren recommended he goes to your site and check it out.
That sugar's not bad. He was saying it's good. The whole repeat way of looking at things.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the other side. There's Pete. Pretty much you can boil it down to sugar being bad and being more ketogenic and fasting, which is Jack Cruz, and light being more important. Or you can be what they call peditarian, which is high sugar, high coconut oil, low omega-6s, drinking orange juice and eating ice cream, which is peditarianism, which is more that train of thinking.
So are either of them okay depending on the person type thing? Is that what you're saying?
That's how I look at diet. Yeah, it really depends on the person. Some people do really well with low carb and fasting. Men specifically, because testosterone seems to give us a hormonal boost. And how long we're able to fast. We're fasting in women, not always, but sometimes. And a lower carb diet can cause issues with thyroid function and issues with the hormonal cycle, so much so that there have been times where women on the Bulletproof forums back in the day, before Dave Asprey had figured this out, and we all had started talking about it, all figured it out together too, is that even their periods could stop if they were not getting enough carbohydrates in. Not all women, but a good amount of women that could happen. So yeah, diet is very subjective. There's not one true diet that everyone should follow that will work for everyone.
Yeah. So I think he was talking about Matt Stone's book. Is that the same as Pete?
I don't know Matt Stone offhand, but if he's saying to get in more carbohydrates and everything, and that sugar should not be demonized, then that would fall under what Ray Pete talks about.
Yeah, okay. I think it's more about like diet recovery, like restoring your health through relaxation and that and your relationship with food.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I looked up his book now, to not what they call orthorexic, meaning that you obsess over every meal and obsess over everything that you put into your mouth.
Yeah.
Which of itself can cause a lot of problems. And, eating's supposed to be enjoyable. You're supposed to, eat around your family and your friends often when you can, and try to enjoy the food that you're putting into your mouth and not be afraid. I'm not saying, people for like celiac disease like myself, for example, that doesn't mean for me to go out and eat like a sourdough turkey and cheese sandwich. I'll get very sick from that.
That sounds good.
Other things, try to do your best to enjoy food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it shouldn't be stressing you out, I guess,
Which a lot of people are doing when it comes to thinking about their food and thinking about their food choices. And doing so, that's what makes people who follow diets end up quitting a lot of the time because of all that anxiety. And especially if they mess up, they feel like they failed the diet, where most diets work when it's, you may cheat or slip every so often, but the more days that you're actually fulfilling healthy eating or doing healthy habits, the more often that they become habits, the more often that you're likely to succeed.
I think the part that shocked me the most was the difference between, or maybe I thought there was a difference between sugar, like bad sugar, like the corn, what's the corn syrup, like the corn syrup versus like a maple syrup type thing, that the better natural sugars compared to like the modified or refined sugars.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You wouldn't want to ingest high fructose corn syrup because a high amount of fructose could be very damaging to the liver, especially when you don't have the, even if you eat high fructose fruits, at least you're getting the fiber that kind of blunt that a little bit. And also high fructose corn syrup, they really can't figure out where it's coming from, but during the processing, it seems to be that a lot of high fructose corn syrup is contaminated with mercury. And so, you're getting mercury burden by ingesting high fructose corn syrup, and you'd be better off ingesting, molasses, blackstrap molasses, or honey, or maple syrup.
Yeah.
And occasionally white sugar if it's a special occasion. As long as it's organic and from sugar cane and not from GMO beets. But yeah, corn syrup and stuff like that's really bad for you.
No corn syrup. How's the podcast going, John, before we let you go?
Doing good. We've read the documents. I haven't got it up on Podbean yet, but a YouTube channel. Got about 3,000 subscribers. Been doing shows on the Council for National Policy and the Finders Cult and on Trump and everything. It looks like there's going to be a broker Democratic convention here coming up. I just saw that the DNC put John Podesta in and other Clinton supporters. And it looks like they're going to steal it away from Bernie again. And it looks like Hillary Clinton, she might be the Democratic nomination against Trump this year. So get ready for Clinton-Trump 2. It looks like it's probably going to be happening down the pipeline to let y'all know. So,
Yeah, we kind of figured that.
I could have predicted
all right,
that.
Take care.
Yeah,
All
thanks,
right,
John.
John. Have a good night.
Thanks, buddy.
Later, brother.
Yeah, bye.
Later.
Okay, bye.
I think friend
you're
of the show,
covering
John Brisson.
You might be covering the mic, putting it that way too. I think he stopped hearing us. Is that the mic up there?
Both are on the bottom.
Mic and speaker?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was just better before because he was pointing it at us.
Well, I moved it. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. When you move it anywhere on the side of it, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, friend of the show, John Brisson. Of course, we've had a couple interviews with him. Check him out in the back catalog. And here we are with our 400th episode. Of course, Grimerica.ca/support. Help keep the train going for another 400 or 600 or 1,200 or whatever we're going to end up getting up to. All of them are sponsored by you guys. So at $1 an episode, you know where you stand.
Here we go. Another call.
We got another call coming in. It's a
Good
403
start.
number.
Awesome. Oh, boy.
Hello, welcome to Grimerica.
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Who's this?
This is Chris.
Hey, Chris, thanks for calling.
Okay.
Can you hear us okay?
Okay.
You can hear us okay?
Yeah, can hear you just fine.
All right.
Bouncing
Good stuff.
Bouncing between the hockey game and your guys' show.
Nice. Well, what do you want to, what's the most important thing to talk about right now?
Grant Cameron.
Oh, nice.
Okay, got a question. You boys have been on it harder, and it's a lot of it seems to be local, Calgary.
Okay.
3 questions. How about I ask you the questions and then ask if he's reliable? First question.
Yeah.
I believe he's mentioned that Joseph Mengele at the Second World War, at the end of it, was stationed here in Calgary, that he worked Curry Barracks and was known locally as Dr. Green. Did I hear that right?
Don't know about that. I don't remember him saying that, but if Cameron said it, it's probably pretty accurate.
Okay.
I would
Second,
refer to Graham's judgment.
About a spaceport that was constructed in Suffield in the late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah.
Yay, nay, you guys heard anything about that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's like the Canada's Area 51, they say, right?
Is that where they built the Iraqi cannon? That big one that got that guy killed?
Don't know about that. Have you heard anything, Michael, about that in Suffield?
Oh yeah, all sorts of stuff has been tested down in Suffield for sure.
Wow.
It's the largest base in North America.
Really?
In size. It's all underground, like just underground. It's this huge thing. It would go from Calgary to Edmonton wide.
Is it in Canada?
Yeah.
Someone was
It's right near us. It's
Someone
right
was
near.
telling me the other day that they inspected these shelters that you go in if there's an explosion. So they say, oh, there's an explosion coming. Everyone goes into this one building and it's fucking explosion proof. But he was just telling me he inspected a bunch of them on Suffield Airfield Base the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's close by. It's really close to us.
Okay, so you guys take him to be 24 karat then?
Oh, Grant?
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, we've talked to him a couple times, and I don't know. He's done loads of research. I mean, he used to be very, very by the book, like paper trail from the White House and all that. He's, researched all the documents, the FOIAs. He'd go to the libraries himself. Yeah, I think he's legit.
Yeah, I have the same feel too, but with everything that comes out of everywhere, which is basically you can use toilet paper on, it's tough to know who's legit and who isn't.
Yep.
And you boys are pretty good, so thought I'd ask.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah,
Well, we appreciate
Suffield.
that. Thanks.
Suffield is like literally probably 2.5 hours from us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard anything about Alien Mountain north of Kelowna?
This is the first I've heard about
Is
it.
that where the radio telescope is, or there's a telescope up there?
No, I've been following a guy on YouTube, DSAHK, for 5 years, and he says that there's an alien mountain, a spaceport there. Anything?
No, nothing on that one.
Okay, then. You boys have a good one.
Thanks, buddy.
Right
Thanks for the
on.
call.
Thanks for calling in.
You bet. Good night.
Okay, bye.
Local caller.
Local
What are the
caller.
chances? We got people in
Spaceport
the
in
chat.
Kelowna, man. We got to check that out.
They're saying that they can hear Michael better.
Than us?
So when he has to let know than usual. So it's like when he has to work for the mic, he has to get close to it. It's perfect. Well, thanks to Chris for calling in. Local caller, Calgary caller. We do have a pretty large
Well,
subordinate.
he might not have been Calgary. 403 is a big
He
area
said
in Calgary.
Calgary.
Oh, did he? Okay, sorry.
Weren't you listening?
No.
You're too busy like yelling over in that direction instead of speaking into your mic. You've got some
This
sort of weird
professional
contact.
setup we have. I'm just, hey, trying to get.
We got
into
another
here.
call coming in, area code 203.
already. What? Wow.
Hey, welcome to Grimerica.
Hey, this is Mark from Connecticut, all the way across the continent. How you guys doing?
Good, Mark. Thanks for calling in.
Of course. We chatted on Instagram for a bit yesterday. You guys invited me to call in, and I got some information to drop about Skull and Bones. I hope it's not old news.
Awesome. No, this is a Wayward Intellect then, right?
You bet.
Oh.
That's me.
I hope that was okay that I said that.
Yeah, I like that moniker. I came up with it when I was 14 years old.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, what's going on with you live near some of that stuff, don't you, down there?
Yeah, I just had a few drinks over at a pub close by to that to the Tomb. I don't know if you guys know much about it, but founded in 1832. They got quite a creepy little building over on High Street in New Haven. It's kind of a haunting little place there. Private, cameras everywhere, but yeah, I mean, I'll jump right into it if you guys are interested.
Yeah, do it.
Absolutely.
So 322, that's a number that they're fond of using. What that means is 1832 is the year they were founded. And that second 2 is added on there because they're the second chapter of a society that was born out of Germany, right? So you guys familiar with Hegel, Hegel?
Yep. As in the Hegelian dialectic?
Yeah, and how this was all kind of sparked, at least on our continent, right here in New Haven. The roots of Nazism, Marxism, even militarism.
What about fascism?
Pretty much, yeah. But more specifically, what I've been getting into is researching how these people have sort of hijacked the education system, at least in America. Really, it comes down to a couple of gentlemen who, after their foray at Yale University, they go over to the University of Berlin. And at the University of Berlin, they get involved with this Hegelian philosophy. And what that really entails is the state is superior to the individual, you know, this whole ideology of molding the individual so that they're a organic, cohesive part of society. You know, the kind of idea that people should be molded to fit with the framework of society rather than the opposite of that, where the individual creates their own destiny. This is kind of a select few individuals creating the destiny of all of us, you know? But yeah, pretty much gets its roots in 1832. University of Berlin, University of Ingolstadt in Germany, and then, of course, Yale University right here in Connecticut. Creepy stuff, man. I mean, I don't know how much you guys have looked into it, but everything from Martin Van Buren, Geronimo, a couple other Native Americans of prominence whose skulls now rest in this tomb right over on High Street, New Haven, Connecticut.
It sounds like that's like leading us into technocracy. I mean, it sounds like it started with the education system back then, and now it's become, you know, like we're going to lose our freedoms to technology, basically.
Yeah, it seems like that's the road it's heading down. I mean, it started with, funny enough, this good intentions. There's a guy in Hartford, Connecticut, who founded the School of the Deaf, right? And a couple of these bonesmen got a hold of his practice of teaching deaf and blind people how to read and write. And they thought to themselves, oh, if we could take this method and make it the standard method, it might dumb generations down, you know? And that's exactly what's happened. They've taken a very simple form of learning how to read and institutionalized it so that it actually, as simple as it was, is actually more of a chore on the human mind, especially a young, developing mind. Now, this kind of practice not only comes from that, but the University of Berlin was home to a man named, let me just look in my notes here for his name, but he was the founder of experimental psychology, right? So out in Germany, they were kind of developing this art of psychology and molding the mind. The guy's name was Wilhelm Wundt, right? W-U-N-D-T.
Huh.
He wasn't a bonesman, wasn't a part of Skull and Bones, but he was a big instrumental part of their whole philosophy because he not only founded experimental psychology, but his ideas were very wrapped around Hegelian philosophy and this whole idea that the state is superior to the individual and the needs of the state circumvent the needs of the individual. So, you know, what we have developing out of this kind of crux in Germany is a sort of ideology that's left us where we are today. I mean, where people have less personal freedoms, less freedom to express themselves. I mean, here in America, we still got the right to say whatever the fuck we want, but, you know, there's comedians getting arrested up there in Canada, you know, and all over, all across the world now for just speaking out what they express in themselves, you know?
Yeah. Do you think there's enough evidence, like documented evidence of this education problem and that, you know, creating the useful idiots, and people are starting to wake up to it a bit now?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to a guy named Daniel Colt Gilman, right? So this guy Gilman, he not only did he graduate from Yale University, a member of Skull and Bones, fresh right when it started, around 1858, he graduated from Yale and went over to Germany, got really, really comfortable with Hegel philosophy, and then he came back to America, spent about 14 years in Connecticut, kind of seeding the roots of this philosophy, and then went on to become the president of the University of California. So, you know, this thing has gone coast to coast.
Yeah.
I don't know the extent. I mean, the middle America is very religious, and I think this is kind of why you see more of an atheistic tendency on the coasts of America.
Right.
this whole crusade is against religion. You see, I mean, you guys are very, very familiar with it. I'm a huge fan of the show. You know, a lot of your topics of discussion revolve around enlightenment and how to uplift your spirit, right?
Yeah.
And you guys know more than anybody how powerful that can be on the individual's consciousness.
Right. Yeah.
So this is kind of where they've taken their pickaxe to. You know, they want to destroy the ability of religion to uplift the individual. They want to destroy that so that the individual is more or less just a cog in the machine. You know, we're familiar with this idea from movies like The Matrix and so on, but really what it stems down to is a lot of bitter German, not German specifically, but that's where it kind of centered around in Germany. But these people, you know, they were very much against religion, very much against the ability of religion to enlighten and uplift. And they set out to kind of sow the destruction of that perennial philosophy that man has kept since ancient times, you know, whether it be secret or not. They've taken that modus operandi of the secret society and used it against its original purpose. I mean, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the Platonic societies and how there was a sort of push to keep the knowledge, sacred knowledge, sort of hidden from the evildoers' hands. You know, people who would use that kind of knowledge for greed and power. I mean, everyone's familiar with the age-old Spider-Man quote, "With great power comes great responsibility." You know, we've been blessed to been passed down sacred knowledge, sacred geometry, all these sorts of liberal arts that help enlighten the empathetic side of our consciousness. And this is really kind of the aim of organizations like Skull and Bones, is to destroy that kind of urge to enlighten each other in exchange for a more physical, sort of lackluster approach to living your life, where you're just kind of you grow up, you live your career out, and then you die, and that's that. And you could see it now. I mean, New York City, I'm pretty close to that. A lot of atheists there, a lot of people who are just like, you know, I'm just living until I die, you know, not a lot of meaning in life. But yeah, it's sad, because that's, in my opinion, that's where a lot of the purpose and meaning of being a human being comes from, is finding that inner side and going deep, going inward, and that's really where they kind of set their sights on tackling that and taking it out, because they realized that they couldn't control a human being if the human being has a mind to introspect with, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So you spread the word. Wake up your friends,
good
people.
Point. Good point.
Be the meaning in each other's lives.
And the connection. Yeah.
And the connection.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for calling in, Mark, in Connecticut. We hope you have a lovely night. We got a couple other people trying to call, so we're going to have to cut you off there. But, wow, thank you for some fantastic information.
Of course. Hey, real quick, if anybody else is interested in getting a hold of this kind of information, you know, not everybody lives 20 minutes away from the tomb, but Anthony C. Sutton wrote a great book. I'm going to send it to you guys' P.O. Box when I get a chance, if you don't already have the book.
Awesome, thanks.
It's called America's Secret Establishment. I implore everybody to go check it out. Anthony C. Sutton is the author, and he's really kind of led me on a road to research. But hey, thanks for the opportunity, guys.
Okay, thanks, buddy.
Okay,
no problem.
Bye.
Hey, welcome to Grimerica.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I'm on the YouTubes over there, and the audio is kind of I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I haven't been able to get a chance to log into the .net. But just want to say I love you guys' show, man. I've been listening to you guys for like 3 years now. Sorry for that.
Awesome. That's okay. Yeah. Thanks for listening.
What do you guys think about this the Wu Flu clan?
The Wu Flu clan? Is this are we talking about the coronavirus?
That's pretty good. I like that. That was pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I just posted in a comment down there below, but when I first saw, things coming out from China itself, like as far as exposing them, it's like, how like they don't let anything out. So it got me thinking, like, there's some type of something going on here, man.
You think like a false flag type thing?
Yeah, I mean it's China, you know how it goes. And it's like they don't let anything out. I mean, you can't even shop on Amazon or anything.
But now we have videos of roads blocked off and all this other stuff surfacing all over the place.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys follow a channel called Monograph. His name is Monty. He's like a decoder guy, but he's got some great stuff on there. And there's another guy named Agent 19. They've been going through like deep dive into this whole thing, and it's like I don't know. I was just wanting to get your guys' take on it.
Well, it's hard to know what to believe too, because they've talked about the patent that was there that people say, oh, it wasn't the same stuff that was patented, and then there's the leaked video from the Pentagon where they say that they've figured out how to modify your fundamentalist mind through vaccines. That's pretty scary. So my conspiratorial side starts going towards like forced adult vaccinations. If this thing gets bad enough, then we're gonna have to be vaccinated.
That's kind of my take on it. I was just down in Texas and we were talking about it, and I was like, you know what? That just reminds me of the bird flu and the swine flu and the
SARS.
H1N1 and SARS. And last year it was Ebola, which is a terrible thing in some places. But, it's I don't know if it's a vaccine thing because, they're working on the vaccine. Now they're working on the vaccine.
Some people have said there's already articles that say they've got the cure. They just need to get it tested first. So now they're going to rush this thing through without testing it.
And part of it just thinks that they like to keep us in a state of fear. I mean, fear's the mind killer. When you're scared of shit, you're more apt to be fighting with everyone. You're more apt to be not making the world a better place. You're just, scared people are easier to control. So, it seems like it's just...
Could be a bunch of different uses for it, but...
Or it could just be never let a good crisis go to waste and the apocalypse is upon us. I mean, I'm hoping this isn't the case, but touch wood.
You guys heard about the Bill Gates, the drill 201?
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to mention.
Yeah. And the level 4, there's a level 4 biolab in Wuhan that was from Canada, by the way. I don't know if you guys got any readings on that, where there was another biolab in Canada, and there's Bill Gates has got his name written all over this thing. I mean, that's what I'm gathering, this intel, everybody's trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. And when you look at it, it's like, the Georgia Guidestones, this whole nonsense. I mean, we could believe in what we want to believe, but I mean, this thing's getting it is. It's like, first you heard about killer bees, then you heard about swine flu, SARS. I mean, we get riddled with this stuff over and over again.
World War III, fascism.
Well, apparently that virus was moving from Canada to China. And I think it got stolen on the way.
No, it got stolen from the lab.
Stolen from the lab, or from I thought it was in transport.
I thought a Chinese guy was working there. He was like a spy. He stole it.
It was a woman actually, and her husband also worked there, and they stole it from a Canadian lab and took it to China.
That's it.
Yeah. And then that Bill Gates one, I mean, of course, Snopes and all these people say that what was they had that event or whatever where they did the simulation of a pandemic, and people are saying, people are saying it was coronavirus, but of course the Snopes and all these people are saying it wasn't coronavirus. It was something else. I mean, I don't know. So you don't know what to believe. I mean, It sure sounded very similar.
It's like the weirdest thing because everywhere you turn, it's like people are just like they're freaking out. Like I'm here in Southern California, and you can't even buy. Like my buddy had just called me, and he goes, "Man, all," and he's like a rep for a paint company, and all the masks are sold out.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things sold out everywhere, even in Southern California. I'm like, man, people are flipping out, but. I don't know. Like, this is the weirdest thing. It ain't from bat soup. I mean, give me a break, dude.
I wonder who got stocks in 3M before this happened.
Oh, yeah, right? Can you imagine those masks are selling like crazy over there? I was thinking because I was going to buy a bunch of masks at the drugstore in Texas and sell them in the airport. $5 a mask.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are big no agenda guys too, and I love that. That's why I support you guys too. And like, man, I mean, we're all over this thing, and it's funny how, how they talk exit plan or exit strategy. Like what's the exit plan? I'm like, when we deep dive into these conspiracy realms and we go through this whole process, I mean, think about like. There's people making money off stock. If we just get savvy enough, we could like make our own exit plan off these knuckleheads.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna.
Michael actually has his little gas mask in studio he brought. So he knew I was recently flying internationally. So he was nice enough to send us in this little gas mask.
Yeah, I made this. I think I might sell them for like $100 a piece or something.
He's got a lawnmower filter onto a snorkel mask. That's the way to do it.
We just got to put a big old joint in the end of that motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, I there's a guy on YouTube. His name is Monograph, but like they were listing all these stocks that these guys like that were into, and all of a sudden they were spiking. And I'm like, well, you know what? Let's play the game as well and make some money. But like these guys this is insanity. You know what I mean? Like it's like a full blown hysteria out here too in Southern California, where I got people just messaging me, "Oh, what do we do?" I'm like, just calm down.
Well, and the timing is fitting for multiple reasons. There's the impeachment bullshit, and there's what else was it a distraction from? There's a couple different things.
World War III.
Davos.
Iran.
What happened to World War III? It's dead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what happens to the measles?
Didn't we just send in like 10,000 troops?
Weren't we just freaking out about the measles like 4 months ago? What happened to that?
It's still there.
That's what yeah. Anyways, I don't want to take up too much more of you guys' time, but I love you guys' show, and thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, buddy. What was your name again? Morgan, right on, Morgan. Thanks for calling, buddy.
Right on, Morgan.
All right. God bless. Take care, guys.
Okay, God bless. God's bless.
Bingo bango. Thanks for calling in, Morgan, on the caller. It's the same YouTube problem. If you're having no audio, head over to the stream. It's all happening.net. YouTube doesn't seem to be working on the phones. Look at that. We got Carlwood in the chats saying congrats on 400.
Carlwood, thanks, buddy. Good to see you.
So if you guys want to call in, 403-702-6083.
Love your show, Carlwood.
Yeah, THC, one of the best ones out there.
Yeah. Always plug it. Go check it out. The Higher Side Chats.
So I came off the microdosing for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And you know what the first thing I noticed was?
You stopped being creative?
Yeah. Well, I'm always pretty creative. No, well, I kept podcasts and stuff, but the first thing I did is I noticed that I stopped grabbing my guitar as much because I was in a real zone where I couldn't fucking go. I just couldn't even go all night. I'd grab my guitar off the wall 3 times a night whenever I had a few minutes and play it.
And what do? Do you just practice? Do you just jingle
play
around,
stuff.
or do you just
make up stuff? I play stuff. I've always got a couple books of music open. Right. I mean, these days you can just whip up stuff off the internet so quick to learn a song. I'm a member of that Ultimate Guitar Archive or something like that. So I pay $10 a month and I got access to all these tabs, whatever tabs I want. But I haven't played in a week, and I was like, what's going on? And I was in this real zone where I had been playing more guitar than I'd ever played in my life. Like I'm in this zone where I'm playing more than I've ever played. I'm playing the banjo, I'm playing the guitar, I'm playing the other instrument, and I noticed that all happened during the microdosing process. And when I quit, it's all sort of going away. I have to force playing it again instead of having the natural draw to it. So I'm going to start back up. and I'm going to see if the music comes in naturally, or if it was just a phase, or if the music kicks back in.
Yeah,
We'll see.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know how it affects, podcasting and work and other things like your relationships and your sleep.
Absolutely. So, Grimerica.ca/support, 400 shows. If you guys have been getting some value out of those shows, check out the support page today. Sign up. Support has been down the last couple of months. We were moving up in the right direction for a while, and things kind of plateaued. We get it. It's Christmas. All that fun stuff.
We'll have to put out some extra apps too.
Yeah, we decided we're going to go through February and hammer out a few more apps. There's a bunch of people we want to have on the show.
We've got a long list. Oh my God.
So we'll probably end up doing, 6 shows a month for the next couple of months just to get a few out and get a head start on the next 100 episodes. It'll be called 500. Will be the next milestone, I suppose. I suppose we should do something for 420.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, is this another call?
It's Russ.
Hello? Hey.
It's Russ.
Welcome to Grimerica, Russ.
What's up?
How you doing? Good to see you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Snake Bro R.
7 years, guys.
Yeah, thanks. How was Darren's visit out there? Everything was okay? He was safe with the gun?
Oh, yeah, man. It was epic. And, of course, it wasn't safe. That wasn't the point.
Right.
I did have the gun cocked at my foot the one time, but Kyle corrected me. They were straightening me out. They're like, no, you shouldn't. I did take the one picture where I did happen to have my finger on both triggers, but I'm just learning. So they were like, don't put your finger on the trigger. And then I posted the picture on social media, and like 100 other people were like, take your fucking booger picker off the finger till you're ready to shoot.
Oh, really?
They got a good point. But I'm not used to playing with guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Graham, why didn't you come down, man? You got to come down next time.
I wasn't invited, so I just, I didn't want to push my way in there, so I'll just let you guys have your alone time with Darren, and yeah, that's fine. I was working in the studio all weekend, so.
Next time we'll come down.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think we'll probably.
Well, you're totally invited.
Thanks, buddy.
Anytime.
Thanks, buddy. It's all good.
Maybe in September we'll come down again. We're definitely coming back.
Graham, did you pay the $5?
Oh yeah, you owe me $5, motherfucker.
You owe Darren $5.
Oh, I don't even remember what it was for. It was for some sort of bet or
You
something.
bet him that we wouldn't podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I don't know for sure if you did yet, because I was supposed to be involved in that too, but you guys started early and
I think we
left
got a
me
good
out of that
90
again.
minute.
So
Yeah.
what feed is that coming out on?
We definitely would have called you from the studio, but I guess it was early and you weren't in yours yet. So.
Yeah, that's right.
It's already published in their feed. I'm going to publish it in our feed, but I couldn't publish it yet because I had to wait till 400 comes out, because
right.
otherwise it would have been the 401th episode, Call-In Spectacular.
Yeah. So you guys have turned Darren into a lover of Texas. He likes it more than Oregon now and his other favorite states. So he might be moving down there before you know it.
Yeah, that'd be great. We can handle it. Let's build the compound down here, man. It'll be fine.
We'll just slowly buy up all those spots around yours. We'll just start kicking people out.
Yeah. Right. Listen, let me tell a couple of Grimerica stories.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I've been listening for a long time. First time caller, long time listener, right?
First time, long time.
But I've been listening for years. And Kyle and I used to have a job where we had to we were going way out in the boonies on people's like really remote properties. There was no cell service there at all. Like not just no internet, but you basically had to put your phone on airplane. There was no service at all. So in the mornings I would basically load up on podcasts and stuff to listen to out there. So I'd go out there, with a cell phone podcast app full of Grimerica episodes. And I spent countless days hiking around on these people's property. We were doing clearing and making paths and just cleaning up and stuff on these really rugged properties. And I would listen to Grimerica while walking through the woods. And you guys kept me company through all that. And it was just fantastic listening to you guys talking to Randall or other people. Just, oh man, it was great. And that really, that really gave Kyle and I a lot of the impetus to start our own podcast, because I was like, look, these guys are doing this, and they're just a couple of dudes from Canada. We can do it. And then, of course, we end up meeting you guys and hanging out. We're doing the Contact of the Cabin. So I feel like the whole thing's come full circle, and it's just really awesome. So I'm really proud of you guys. 400 shows. It's really amazing. I hope there's 400 more and many more after that.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, meeting guys like yourself has been the best part of this whole thing. So, yeah, it's been great meeting you guys, too.
Absolutely. And you guys have a fucking awesome podcast. You know, it's great. We couldn't think of better dudes to be partnered up with moving into the future with our new ventures. So, you know, let's make the fucking next decade one to remember.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The Roaring 20s.
The Roaring 20s are back. Absolutely. Hey, and you give my best to the stash.
I will. I showed him your steelworker picture. He loved that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, me and the stash got along great.
He said he thinks that's higher up than he's ever been. I was like, yeah, Darren has always been higher than you, bro.
Yeah. Me and the stash went off on fascism. It was great. Yeah, it was fantastic. Now, you guys have a little slice of heaven up there, and we will definitely be back. Like I say, I might end up living down there eventually. I got some things to take care of first, but right now, Bandera, Texas is at the top of my list.
Darren's an Indian. There's no borders in his life.
No problem with that. Hey,
I'll marry you.
There's a long history of weird compounds with cults and stuff, man. We can do it down here.
Absolutely. Right on, Russ. Thanks for calling, buddy. Give my best to your family, and thanks for the hospitality.
All right, man. Thank you. Hope
See you,
to
buddy.
see you guys soon.
Love you, buddy.
Later.
Of course.
That audio's coming through pretty clear.
Yeah, if you want to check
better
out.
than most.
Yeah, I know. It's better than some podcasts.
Yeah.
Of course, check out brothersoftheserpent.com if you want to check out those guys' shows. And hey, you know what? I was the last guest. So it's the perfect app to start out on. I think I drug him into politics a little bit, kicking and screaming. We razzed on Graham a little bit.
Really? You won't talk about it here. You go down there and talk about it there. Right? You just save it all up for them?
Yeah, we talked about, I save it up for other people's shows.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
We talked about you a little bit.
Yeah.
We talked about you when you were going to go as the possibilionist. And I was like, can you imagine trying to interact with him? He shows up at fucking Contact in the Cabin in a mask. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I don't even mind that I just got scorched on the Canada versus U.S. exchange rate. From N. Garcia, congratulations, men. You are definitely top shelf and my number one podcast.
Aw.
High five from your 2 hoodies and 2 Grimericans from Utah.
Thank you.
We're going to be in Utah in a couple of months.
I think that's Nestor.
Nestor?
I think.
Think so?
Yeah.
Right on. So, yeah, if you guys call and we don't answer, just keep trying back. We can only do one call at a time. So if people are on, we can't do much about that. So, yeah. What should we do for 420?
Stop smoking weed for a week.
How do we get a podcast that?
Maybe you've got attachments like our last guest.
I've probably got a bunch of attachments. But I like them. I enjoy the company.
Like episode 420?
Yeah.
I think it should be at CAC
That's going to be tough to pull off.
in April. Well, you put
How are
out
we gonna-
like one a week, right?
Oh, yeah. I guess it is.
20
That's
weeks
not
away.
a bad
It's
idea.
20 weeks away.
It's less than 20 weeks
it's
away.
less
It's
than
way
20.
less than 20
It's
weeks
less.
away.
No, I'm saying
Episode
420 is 20 weeks
Well, we
away.
said we were going to do extra. We said we were going to do extra. I can tell you exactly
not that
how.
many extra.
Not that many extra.
No, that's a lot of extra.
So it's like 77 days. That's 10, 11 weeks.
Yeah, that's 9 extra episodes.
Yeah, that
No,
is-
it's
that's
impossible.
pushing it.
So 2 a week.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pushing
we
it.
can't do it.
Yeah, that's pushing it.
It would be perfect,
many.
though.
And it's not going to make it to the Scablands either because that's too far
It'll
away.
be a summer. When will it land? Like it'll probably be a June or July. It'll be perfect.
Well, it'll be in April
nice summer.
20th. It'll be the 19th that you post it,
Oh,
right?
I see. That's why you want to do
so it'll be
420 on
it'll be your-
420.
Totally. While you're down at CAC.
Well,
We'll
let's
see.
let's
No
go for it.
promises here.
That's a hell of a commitment.
What are you doing this
I mean,
weekend?
we'd have to
we
see
do have
an
a lot
awful
of people we want to talk
support.
to.
I got the kiddos.
Oh yeah, right.
So, oh, we just got a nice super chat there. Thanks, JB. I'm planning to visit Orkney next year, so I will try and combine it with Contact at the Castle.
Nice.
Look forward to hearing more details. Congrats on 400. You know what I did find out about super chats? YouTube takes 30% right off the top.
Wow.
So we do love the super chats, and you can super chat us all day long, and we will never say no. Grimerica.ca/support is always another option to take, where they only take 3%. You know how I found out is because Aaron accidentally donated $420 US when he meant to donate $4. Yeah. So he was in a bit of a predicament. So I was like, okay, I'll refund it. No problem. And then I go to the thing and it's like, well, there's only 294. And I'm like, well, how can that be? And it's like, oh, YouTube takes 30% right off the top. So it's like, okay.
That's an expensive keystroke error.
That's an expensive keystroke error. So I refunded him what I could. And I refunded him a little extra. I split it with him.
Oh, that's good.
So America went in the hole on that fucking super chat.
And YouTube took it off.
YouTube made out like a fucking bandit, though. Yeah, that's all right. We love Aaron. He's one of our favorite listeners, so it's okay. I mean, who actually, it was when I seen the 420 pop up, I was like, that has to be a mistake.
Yeah.
Anyway, Grimerica.ca/support. 403-702-6083 is the call-in number if you want to call in. And, well, you know, I would have invited you to Texas, but I thought it was going to be like strictly Contact at the cab and stuff. I should have known better. It never works out like that. But I mean, honestly, you weren't into shooting guns anyway.
No,
you would have just been like sitting in the car.
I've shot guns before.
Have you?
Yeah, in Israel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of guns?
Handgun. Pistol.
That's it? That's the only time you ever shot as a pistol?
Yeah, I haven't shot at it. What were you shooting at?
I was shooting an AR-15.
AR-15. Oh,
and then they had
a
and then they had a semi-auto.
Don't say it's not an assault rifle.
I don't care. Then they had a semi-auto 12 gauge.
Awesome.
20 fucking 12 gauge shots as quick as you can pull the trigger. But it would knock you right on your ass. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hello caller, welcome to Grimerica.
Hey guys, it's B Strut, Bill from the chats. What's going on?
Oh, hey Bill.
Hey B Strut, how are you, buddy?
Fucking wonderful. How's the show going?
Good. We're setting, you know, every time we ever tried to do a call-in show, it turned out to be a lot of dead air and very few callers. I think this is the first time that we've had them, like, we're overflowing with calls. We haven't tried in 200 episodes, probably.
Like, properly like this, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess we always tried the Skype thing.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to see you soon, eh, buddy?
Yeah, Allie and I will be there in Utah in April for sure. I had kind of I want to get you guys' perspective on something that I was thinking about the other day. Was, you know, everybody has this question of like what happens after you die, right? So I forget where exactly I heard this perspective, but it was basically the gist is after you die, you get to watch your life in reverse, but from the perspective of other people who you've affected. So basically, you know, you're watching yourself from, you know, your death back to your birth, but you view it from the perspective of how you made other people feel. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of an interesting take.
Yeah, I think that's.
I mean, what are you guys thoughts?
I think that I've heard that a lot. I think it makes sense. I mean, I think that's where hell comes from, is people that are misbehaving. They have a near-death experience. They see their life in reverse and how they've harmed everybody, and they come back and say, "Holy shit, I've been to hell." Like that's.
Yeah, but isn't the end always the best part? Because like the end of the movie, if it's going backwards, going to be when you're a little baby. Everyone's just like, "Oh, you're just making people's days."
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it goes all the way back. It just goes backwards. It goes backwards to those relevant moments of when you fuck people over.
So you want to be good, man.
Yeah, and that's why I think that's like what religion could have been based on, like the 10 Commandments.
There'll be some rough patches in my life, man. When you're on those substances, you know, shit gets messy.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about other people, but hopefully, you know.
Make sure when you're watching the review to send compassion and love to what you're watching instead of being fear of it. That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, it's a good point, Michael. I didn't think about that.
So what do you think? Is that the way it's going to go down, Bill?
I mean, I'm fluid, so right now, yeah, that seems like it's a good theory to have going into death. But I mean, who knows until you actually get there? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we could learn from all the people that have had NDEs and stuff, and I think those are certain death experiences, not near-death experiences for a lot of people.
Certain death?
And especially, if it's not the case when you die, I think that's still a good mindset to go into, like, living everyday life. Just, like, think about how you're going to make other people feel based off the actions that you take. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally.
So
totally.
Even if, like I said, even if that's not what happens when after you die, I think it's still a good life philosophy to live by.
Yeah, you bet.
So what, of course, your Beast Strut in the chats. What do you think about the chats so far? You've been in there a couple years now.
Yeah, dude, the chats are awesome. The community's great. If you're not part of it and you're listening right now, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you need to get on that shit. Get in the Discord, join the chats. It's great. I've made so many friends there. I'm going to meet a lot more of them in April in Utah. I've made a lot of great connections. I mean, it's a great place to be. There's a lot of magic happening if you're into that stuff. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's been, your show and the chats has really been a life-altering experience to have, and I don't say that lightly.
Wow, thanks, buddy.
Wow,
That's
thanks,
awesome.
brother. Well, meeting fantastic people like yourself are part of what makes doing the show the best part. And, me and you have been chatting a few times about different books and stuff like that over the last little while, and it's been great to make your acquaintance, and I'm really looking forward to shaking your hand in Vegas. Yeah,
me too. I can't wait to meet both of you guys and everybody else that's showing up at CAC.
Yeah, and I'll see you at D&D one of these days.
Yeah, I would like that, but as soon as you get done with that vampire campaign, that can come on.
All right, buddy.
Okay, have a good night, Bill.
All right, you too, guys. Love you.
Okay,
bye-bye. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
We missed him. Just missed him. Thanks for calling in, Bill. Love that guy.
Yeah, whoever was trying to call can try back.
Just keep calling back.
I don't have a lot of control of this. Does anyone know how to make it so that it doesn't beep?
I don't know. I don't know how to do that. That's okay, though. Let's let it beep. I don't think it's a big deal.
You got the mute on?
It does kind of. It makes you feel like you want to rush.
You got the mute on?
When it starts beeping.
Well, maybe it's a good thing.
It's good.
When you're talking.
It's good for us to. For the guy on the phone. I don't think he
on the
hears
phone.
it.
You're
He
like in
doesn't
the
hear
middle
it.
of your thing. And
He doesn't hear it.
No. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From Allie Oop, agreed. Grimerica was life-altering for me, too.
Aw,
of course, she's down under. Yep. Thanks, Allie.
She helped set up our good reads, I think.
Oh, was that her?
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Thanks. And, of course, we got Ellie.
Yeah.
So Allie did the good reads, and Ellie does the store, the red bubble. Yeah, we got to get the radio
Big
going.
thanks to Justin, too.
Oh, yeah, Justin and Adam.
Yeah.
Adam, another key contributor to the show. We couldn't do it with guys like Adam Loyal, Justin. Of course, their show Cat in the Box. And, of course, Ryan from Kansas. If it wasn't for that guy, the Discord would be a fucking disaster. So we love him. And chats, all these people that we couldn't do it without that just help out in huge ways. James Nation, you're on that list, buddy.
Cruising with Steak. Micah Hanks.
I don't know who else. I'll think of them. Oh, Greg Carwood.
Yeah.
Will be another one, of course. So, yeah, shout out to all those motherfuckers who help keep the wheels turning here at Grimerica. Grimerica.ca/support, so we can, buy those guys some shirts and shit once in a while for all the hard work they do for us for free. Of course, that is another way to support the show. If you guys don't have any cash, maybe there's a way you have a skill set. You can help out the hegemony in some way or another. Speaking of apparel, did you see the cactals?
No.
Oh, see, you're not on any of the good chains. Here's Is someone singing?
Yeah. Just look into your heart, my friends, and return to yourself, the return to innocence.
Hey, thanks for calling.
That was awesome.
He hung up.
I think that was like Enigma.
Let's
Wasn't it?
dox his number.
Was that Enigma?
Hey, you know what? Thank you, Grimerica. Thank you guys from all of us from Ngarsi. Catinthebox.space is the URL for Adam's podcast. Grimerica is like a warm blanket for your mind in a cold world. Ryan from Kansas also helped set up the Snake Bros Discord. Grimerica.ca/chats, of course, is the link if you want to get into that Discord. We got another caller here. Hey, caller, welcome to Grimerica.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Are you the guy that was just singing?
Sorry, say again?
Are you the same guy you just called in singing?
Oh, no. My name is Jack. We talked earlier, like a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, hey, Jack.
Oh, how you doing, Jack?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much.
I'm sorry I missed you guys' scheduling a couple of weeks ago. My fucking work called me, so...
No worries.
I was planning on talking to you guys.
Yeah, no worries. We'll set it up some other time.
Yeah, we'll do that show still. Absolutely.
You want to give us a teaser?
Oh, yeah, I could tell you the story I told him about Massacre Canyon that's over by me.
Yeah.
That's a cool little story. So I live in an area right by the Scientology gold base, if you've ever watched the documentary. And it's right in like the hills of the Inland Empire in Southern California. And there's an area called Massacre Canyon. I'm pretty sure I told this when I was talking to you, but so I could tell both of you.
Yeah.
So the natives of the area are called Subobans, what we call Subobans. And it's a very fertile area with a lot of good land, and it's very profitable for farming and agriculture. So then it's a pretty popular city, Palm Springs. They have a Native American tribe called Agua Caliente, which is hot water in Spanish. I know, kind of dumb, but they would come around the mountain all the time and attack the Subobans because they have a far smaller tribe, and they'd take all of their grains and women, or whatever they would, whatever they would do, and then they'd funnel all of the soldiers and young boys and whoever else into this crazy canyon that's basically a 45-degree angle slope to where you cannot climb it. It's like physically impossible. You can't go up the sides, and so they'd funnel them about half a mile into it to this waterfall, and the waterfall is maybe 3-4 stories. And then so what they would do, they learned from the Spanish, because at the time the Spanish were building the missions up and down the coast on California, and the Spanish taught them how to make brick and blacksmithing and all that jazz. So they start building like sabers and Spanish, the cavaliers, and they start building all those other daggers, and they would practice them on these POWs.
Wow. At the waterfall,
yeah.
like?
Yep, they would corner them into the waterfall, obviously build like a gate or something like that so they can kind of keep them corralled in, and they would actually, how some Native Americans, they have a psychedelic initiation for their boys, go take some peyote and come back in a week or whatever. This is their initiation. Like, all right, you're 14, 15, whatever, you're gonna bow out this person, this unfortunate soul, and we're gonna try out this new dagger you got.
When do you think, like, what are we talking about for years? Like, is this like in the 1800s or 1700s?
You're very close. I think he said, the person that told me, it was actually Agua Caliente full-blooded, and he said this is right after the Spanish came, so this is like late 1700s, mid-1700s, nothing too, like, far away.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
That's just my area. That's just one story of my area that's pretty fucking weird.
What about that UFO sighting that you had?
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was in my area too. So that one was trippy. So I'm gonna ask the sorry, what was your the other name?
Darren.
Oh, Derek. Okay. So I haven't talked to you, right?
Right.
Mm-mm.
Okay, Derek. So and I'm in a city that I look due east at the mountains. That's the mountain I was just talking about right next to the gold base. It's called Mount San Jacinto. And I'm looking due east at it. And there's March Air Force Base, which is about 30 miles as the crow flies away from me. And it's a pretty popular base. It's an international. It goes to Iraq and all that jazz. But I'm looking at Mount San Jacinto. I'm at my buddy's house. And I look up, and it's the same ships from Cloud City in Star Wars, it looks like. You know, the two that are connected when they're flying into Cloud City?
No.
Ah, dang it. You're not nerdy enough. I'm sorry.
He's more of a Star Trek guy.
I haven't seen all the Star Wars.
Klingon. I'm just kidding. So basically, it's like two connected pods that are connected at like the hip to each other. There's just two individual pods. You know, I don't know what the reasons are, but anywho, they're connected to each other. And I saw this ship or this. I don't know what it was, and it was two lights that were vibrating, and they're connected to each other, and they were going ridiculously fast, like unfathomable. It basically went from one side of the mountain to the other in a span of, I don't know, maybe 2-3 seconds.
Wow.
Crazy like that? Like, yeah, like something absurdly fast. And it was vibrating, too, like the lights, the two lights that were connected to each other, they were vibrating, and like very, very fast. And so I saw them zip by, and I had a buddy that can, attest for me. He saw it too, and we're like, what the hell is that? And then maybe 5 minutes later, he either made a big loop or someone was trying to chase him, and so the same kind of thing was just looped back around the same direction. It was the weirdest thing.
How long ago was that?
Oh, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like recently too.
Yeah, interesting.
Are you in the chats, Jack?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You are in the chats?
Hello?
Are you in the chats?
Am I in the chat? Sorry.
The Grimerica chats?
No, I'm on the YouTube actually. That's why I didn't even know there's a chat.
There's a Discord chat. You might have a good time in there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I love Discord.
Grimerica.ca/chats. We'll take you right there.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Is there an invite or is it open?
That link should automatically take you there. Grimerica.ca/chats should open and take you right in if it's working properly currently.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I know some Discords they're invite only or what have you. So that's cool. I'll have to join it then.
We'd love to have you.
All right, no problem. Yeah, just I wanted to stay in, get in for a bit, and I guess we'll be in contact for the next show so we can talk about the flood evidence and the Randall Carlson and all the other stuff that I've noticed about in my topography of my area.
Yeah. World War II too, and the Norse stuff maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's another one of my passions. So, or sports or anything like that, or whatever you guys want to talk about.
No sports unless you're talking about the Big Fix.
The Big Six. What's that?
No, like the Big Fix, like like gambling, conspiracies, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean that's different. Yeah, that's as a basketball guy, that's it's real suspect, especially now with Kobe. And I just listened to that Tinfoil Hat episode about the Brule Society and LeBron James. As a basketball guy, it's real interesting.
Yeah. I haven't listened. I haven't listened to that one yet, so I'll have to check it out.
Oh, it's very, very good. Like as a basketball guy, and I know LeBron's, he's part of it. I could just tell just by his how the way in his pregame, for instance, he does that little tapping his chest and points up and makes a 666. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, man? It's just, it's just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, buddy.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. Talk to you soon, Jack.
All right, thank you guys.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's working pretty good, that little speakerphone trick.
Yeah, it's working pretty good, yeah.
It's a good thing because that cord was fucked or lucked out. I'm just trying to find that link right now because the Grimerica.ca .ca/chats doesn't work.
What? It did. I thought we fixed that.
So did I.
Oh boy. It's not one thing.
Phone's ringing again.
Wow.
Hey, welcome to Grimerica.
Hey guys,
Hey.
how's it going? I'm a big fan of you guys. So this is I'm a little excited. Just smoked some pot. So yeah, I want to tell you about my summer of contact.
What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Matt. I'm from Ontario.
Oh, right on, Matt.
I used to live in that area.
I listen to you guys all the time at work. It gets me through my day.
Awesome.
I'm a video game tester, so it's not that hard of a job, but you guys still really help.
Awesome.
I've been doing CE5 my whole life, but not really knowing it. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous.
That's okay. Take a deep breath.
So this summer, me and my buddy did mushrooms a couple years ago, and we saw this crazy craft. Like, we both saw it, and it's the first time in my life where I saw a UFO with somebody, so I knew I wasn't crazy. So I've been having sightings my whole life. This summer, though, I did a solo trip. I went to my parents' house in Almer, Ontario, and just in their backyard, it's totally quiet, it's peaceful, and just laid on a gravity chair looking straight up. I took 5 grams, and I bought one of those lasers that you shine and you contact them, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's weird talking about it because I don't really talk about it much. It's a weird thing that happened.
It's okay. You're only talking like 30, 40,000 people, so.
There you go. Flash bulbs happen all the time to me, and I've seen them my whole life. So I'm peeking on the trip, and these flash bulbs are popping all around me. It's ridiculous. The sky's lighting up with flash bulbs. Perfectly clear night out. And so I'm seeing this, and I'm peeking, and I'm feeling really, really good. There's got to be some consciousness connection with UFOs. That's what I feel anyway.
Yeah.
My point is, when I was peeking, the flash bulbs are happening. And how do you guys describe fast walkers? Because I think that's what these are. It's like a light that happens, and then they kind of dance around.
Yeah.
Isn't it
it's almost it looks like a satellite or a bright satellite, but it's
almost like an iridium flare, kind of.
Well,
isn't it like a satellite that changes direction?
Yeah, kind of like a satellite that zigzags around fairly fast.
So a satellite goes from horizon to horizon. These appeared where I was looking, straight up in the sky, totally crystal clear sky. And these crafts, or light ships, if you will, were bouncing around, and they would get dim and bright. So I finally shot my laser on them, and they responded and popped and started just the camera flashing. It was ridiculous. I have goosebumps talking about it now. But I really do believe that mushrooms or psychedelics get your brain in the state where you can just do it. I tell my buddy all the time about Graham, that you go out and with groups of people, but doing that just alone in my backyard or with my buddy, it's it primes your brain for it or something. So I don't know, it's just nuts. I just wanted to let you guys know. I was going to write you, and then I just saw you guys were live. Holy shit, grab my phone. I had to tell you guys that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what do you think the flash bulbs are then? How...
I don't know, man. So this summer, I practice mushrooms and doing this a lot. And my dad's a big skeptic. I go to their house, Matt's looking at the sky looking for UFOs again. So he came out, he's you're a sports fan, NASCAR fan, whatever, fine, to each their own kind of thing. So he came out, he's it's pretty dark out, want me to turn a light on? No, come here, come look with me. And I'm just look. And I explained to him what a flash bulb was. 5 minutes later, guess what my dad just saw? Flash bulb.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just speechless. So he's like, well, I might have to come back out here before I go to bed. Comes back out here, 2 more flash bulbs.
Oh.
So I asked him in the morning, I'm so what did you see last night? He's like, something I can't explain.
Wow, that's great. Yeah,
see, reality too. So
yeah. Yeah, it's not easily explainable. It's not, it's...
Well, like I said, seeing it by yourself,
makes you think you're crazy until you see it with other people.
Yeah.
I recommend if you are experiencing this alone, you have to try and do it with other people. It'll make you feel a lot more sane.
Yeah, because we would half of the circle that we were in would see them on one side of the sky, and we'd jump up or we'd, yell and scream as a group. So it definitely, you get that extrinsic feedback that it's not just you.
Yes. Yeah. And also to do with blockers. So Graham and Darren, right? Darren, you would be considered a blocker because you don't
How dare
really
you.
believe in it, right? Well, no. So in my summer of contact, my girlfriend is like you. She doesn't give a fuck about it. She doesn't want to see anything. I went out there. I did the mushrooms, and I did all my protocols. She didn't want to see anything. We didn't see anything. Nothing.
Wow. That's interesting.
So this summer, I'm going to make a small documentary because I can just go to my parents' backyard and do this. So I'm going to try and get trail cameras and infrared cameras set up and a time lapse thing going on because there's something going on up there and people need to know.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, let us know when you do that and we'll have you on to chat about it or we'll link to it or something.
Cool, man. Would love that.
Join the chats, Matt. We'd love to have you in the chats. You'll have lots of people to talk to.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Awesome. Take care, guys.
Bye.
If you don't get through, just keep trying. We will try to get to everybody. We will get to everybody. If you guys maybe just got to take a 10-minute break and try calling again. But if you want to get through, we'll get through to you. We won't stop till we get to all of you. Welcome to Grimerica.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Doing well.
Who's calling?
Oh, it's Chris calling. I'm sorry. Just wanted to heads up to you guys and thumbs up. You keep your sticks on the ice and you're great.
Thanks.
Are you Darren's kindred spirit, Chris?
Am I a kindred spirit?
Of Darren's?
No, I don't know Darren.
Okay.
Just a part-time listener and a pretty big fan.
And
thanks. Basically, I wanted to ask you guys to talk about your favorite interviews.
Okay.
My favorite interview of yours was with Graham Hancock. That's what got me hooked onto your show.
Okay, good.
And the warmth that the man gave to you guys was pretty cool because that's an Earth citizen, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
And maybe you guys spend 5 minutes telling us what your best or favorite was in the last 400.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, the last time I called in earlier tonight, I'm sorry. I was rude and I never gave you a chance to talk about yourselves. 400 is a hell of an achievement. And well done.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks,
You
man.
guys go now.
Thanks, buddy.
Have a good night.
Okay.
We love you.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
What's your favorite? If you have to pick one.
We'll wait and see if the calls stop. I don't know. It changes, but I mean, I got to go back to that Greg Doyle one for some reason. That really struck a chord with me. That astral travel and the battles he had in the astral realm and having to love. It all came back down to love again. So Greg Doyle was one of my favorites for sure.
I'd have to go to Randall Carlson. I think.
Yeah.
He was always great. Already, and then now just all the things that have sort of come out of those Randall interviews, like we had him on so many times. Now we're doing conferences, now.
Asshole, get off my fucking phone!
What?
God damn you! Get off my phone, asshole!
Hey, welcome to Grimerica.
Get a life, you scumbag piece of shit!
How's it going?
You dirty rotten bastard! You cocksucker!
Is that a jingle?
Yeah,
Is that James Cruz?
Oh,
Hi guys, very hairy around my penis and my balls. Chronic masturbator. Love to jerk off. I take my own cum. Love to kiss, suck, fuck, jerk off, eat ass, 69. Yeah, we get off together.
I think hang up.
There's another call coming in.
This is what happens when you put your phone number on the internet.
Yeah. Who's the other one from? He's not there?
Oh, no. I was going to give this guy 5 minutes.
I think he hung up.
I thought it was great.
I think he hung up.
Yeah, he hung up. It was probably the guy who serenaded us earlier, I'd say.
Think it's the same guy? If
No.
he calls back, we'll dox him.
Yeah.
It's illegal to dox people?
No, don't dox. No dox.
All right, no doxing. Might be the same guy. Hey, welcome to Grimerica.
Hello?
It's the same background. Give him a second. Okay, that was 3 seconds.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Hey, am I live on there or what?
You sure
You
are.
betcha.
Oh, outstanding. This is Chris, Darren's kindred spirit.
There's the Chris I was waiting for.
Chris is my kindred
Yeah,
spirit?
yeah. You guys have a bunch of things in common.
Okay,
Hey,
you know Chris?
Yeah.
I've been waiting to get through because I sent this email to y'all. Y'all read it, okay? This amazing piss synchro that I had. Mind-blowing, right? So, kind of embarrassing. You get done reading my email, and you go on to this next email. Somebody from New York. Are you guys still there?
You bet. Yeah, we're here. Yeah.
Okay. So you start reading this other guy's email, and he's talking about picking up a book, throws it on the bed.
Yep.
He starts communicating with his buddy. I overhear the word Rosicrucian and Francis Bacon.
Yep.
And that caught my attention because in the last few years I've been doing a lot of reading and research on occult mysteries and mysticism and all kinds of stuff. And so these two words sparked my attention, right? So I'm like, okay. And then at the end of this guy's synchro, he's awestruck because he comes across his word Francis Bacon. And then you're like, okay, well, that's pretty cool, right? The name of this book is like something about coincidences. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so check this out. We're a vegetarian household. Guess what I'm doing, bro? While I'm listening to this, I'm over the daggone stove frying bacon.
That's awesome.
So it's like Francis Bacon, and then you guys even mentioned maybe what had happened was a ripple stick. Maybe Darren made me piss my pants. Well, it was just quite strange because I don't cook bacon, bro. Like, that was probably the first time in a year I've ever been over the stove cooking bacon.
Oh, that's too funny. And he opened up that book, and the first word he read was Francis Bacon.
Francis Bacon. And I'm like, okay, this is truly a ripple stick material.
I love it.
Do you want to play the jingle?
What I wanted to also get out before I let you move on to the next caller is how I found the show. After a Kundalini awakening, I found myself in a Buddhist temple, one of 3 Buddhist temples in the city. And the maintenance guy there was like talking to me about the power of positive attraction. And he says, hey, you should check out these episodes, 182 and 202 with the Grimerica show. He explains the show. I check out the episodes. And now I've listened to your show from beginning to end. And like I said, I've got so much more to share. You guys are like buddies of mine that I've never met. And I look forward to growing the relationship because I've got books to write. Now I hear you guys are doing some audiobook publishing. So I think that we have a future that will grow. And I look forward to getting on the show eventually and telling my story, which usually takes about an hour and a half. And so maybe we can look forward to that down the road.
That sounds great, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've already connected with somebody else from the show, right?
Yeah, that Discord chats, man.
Yeah.
I'm making connections, making friends, and I really appreciate that link because, as I had said in my email, I only chat with 2 people in my life. Everybody else is pretty much closed-minded, stuck in some type of religious or political box, and any kind of mention of stuff out of that box seems to, get weird looks. And
Yeah.
so I just keep reading, put my podcast on, keep writing.
Do you think people are people changing and waking up a little bit though, or
a little bit? Okay. See, I do this home services. I visit like 3 people a day, new people, new homes, and I recently developed some type of extrasensory perception. I tend to pick up frequencies, high frequencies, coming not only from people but inanimate objects. And so every now and then I get this vibration, and it resonates through my whole body. And when that happens, I know this person is on another frequency, and it starts conversations. And that's how I've met some new friends, just from knowing that they're on another level. I don't know how this happened, but started with meditation. But before that, I had purified my body with diet. I know one of the last episodes in the show, we were talking about how to purify your body, and all that stuff is real, man. I wouldn't have had this awakening had my body not been ready for it. I don't think meditation would have even worked. I mean, I'm on a plant-based diet. I don't consume any meat, proteins, purified my water, all that good stuff. So, and that had just happened as a prerequisite, kind of accidentally. And then I stepped into the meditation, wham, bam, and now I have precog, some type of ESP. But I think we all have these powers latent. It's just a matter of developing it once you know it's there.
Yeah. Awesome, buddy.
Absolutely.
That sounds great.
Yeah, like I said, thanks again for your time, and I look forward to future endeavors with y'all.
All right, buddy.
Absolutely.
You too, Chris.
Thanks for calling in, Chris. See you in the chats. What's your at in the chats? That's okay. Bye, Chris.
I was searching for 182 and episode 202 that he mentioned, and I can't find him, but imagine he heard about it from the janitor.
What can't you find?
Double mastectomy means that I don't no longer have breasts because they took them off surgically. Who are you calling a slut? Somebody that is full of shit, just like you. Call me or even my child somebody slutty. You slutty and disrespectful is what you are. And you're going to get sued. I want my package. That's who's a bitch. That's who's a bitch. And I'm not far from Montgomery because I can come kick your bitch ass with no problem. And who the fuck are you talking to? Your whole family is a rotten ass bitch. Your old ass grandmammy and your old ass damn mama and your ungrateful ass no good dick sucking behind the damn bleacher children and your cheating ass no good slutty ass wife that probably be fucking somebody else with
Probably
your
just hang
little
out.
dick ass. I don't give a fuck what you called. I don't give a fuck about you
Just
calling no
hang it
goddamn
out.
police. You right, bitch.
182 is Ethan Indigo Smith.
And 202 was the Kundalini, Awaken the Kundalini and Life Force with Nitin Adsel.
Nitin Adsel.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to have to go back and listen to some of these.
Yeah.
I don't remember Nitin Adsel.
I couldn't
Reminds me of
find
Netanyahu.
182. It's funny.
Hey,
Hello.
welcome to the show.
It's a wonderful day.
Who's speaking?
That was Chris Rock.
Slavery used to be legal. I agree with slavery.
That was Bill Clinton.
Woo! I'm back from the dead. I'm alive. It's going to be a good day today.
Hello?
I know who that was.
James Cruz?
I know who both of those were, but I can't.
Can't remember his name.
Just hang out. Doesn't make for a good podcast.
That sounds good, though.
What do we talk about with Nitin?
Kundalini, I think, and
This one's from
meditation. and
Australia.
stuff.
Australia.
That sounds good. Yeah, have it.
Hey, welcome to Grimerica.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good.
Who's calling?
speaking?
This is Allie.
Hey, Allie. We thought that might be you from way over there in
Australia.
Australia.
It is. I couldn't even. I thought for sure I'd recognize your voice. I was like, okay, they didn't answer. But cool. I got on to you guys. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Yeah. I just wanted to call and say hi because I love you guys. I really do.
Oh,
So,
thanks.
yeah, I'm just a dork here and just saying hi because I love you guys. But yeah,
Thanks. How's your Goodreads doing?
I've been slack. I really have been. I need to get back on there. I think I've probably got lots of friend requests that I've just been ignoring. But I'll get on there sometime soon.
Right on.
Yeah,
Is there anything you want to?
Good. You guys. Oh, look, I just wanted to say hi, and I did like one of the last normal callers that called. He was talking about preparing your body before you can kind of get anything else ready, and I liked that. I thought that was really cool, and I agree. I'm on the vegetarian train, so that's been going good. Actually, I became vegetarian actually from a video that I watched of Grant Cameron's.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it was just some guy. I think he was from Chile, and he was talking about. I don't know. He had like some interaction with ETs, and they told him to go vegetarian. So I was like, "Sweet, I'm doing it." So I did it, and like I've been doing all the hippy dippy trippy stuff, like getting into crystals, and I've always been fascinated with dreams. So anyway, it's all fascinating, and you guys are like right there with me on this journey, and it's awesome. So
Thanks.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Say hi, and yeah, I love you guys. I really do.
Thanks. Quick question: do you eat fish, or are you a vegetarian? Like no fish even?
Yeah, actually, I do seafood.
Okay, so like pescatarian. Yeah, I was a pescatarian for a couple of years. Yeah. How long has it been for you?
It's maybe a year and a half.
Okay, wow, that's quite a bit.
I could do vegetarian if I could just eat fish every day.
Yeah.
I could handle that.
Yeah,
Totally.
Well, I mean, like that Korean healer said, it was like lower on the consciousness level, right? Like red meat and chicken, they're higher up. They know they're going to die, but the fish, it's okay. So that's interesting. I would do that. I would do that if anything, maybe. But
And then you can still eat cheese and shit,
yeah,
right?
It's been good.
Yeah, right on.
Got to have the cheese. Do you eat cheese?
Well, cool. Oh yeah, I do that. Yeah, I love cheese. So
If you got all that
I do
other
everything
good
except
stuff.
for meat, except for consuming meat. Like I'll have chicken stock and things like that. But
Yeah.
not
Right
the
on.
meat.
Good stuff.
What about like, would you eat
cool.
venison?
Congrats, guys.
I guess that's the same thing. What about like a deer or something like that?
Well, she's got a kangaroo down there.
Yeah, would
don't
you eat kangaroo? Do you eat kangaroo?
What about wallabies?
I have had kangaroo, but no, I don't eat it anymore.
Does it taste like
But yeah,
chicken?
it's kind of a bit gamey.
Yeah.
Could probably kick your ass.
Anything that
too.
can punch you in the face has got to taste gamey. Yeah.
I could punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, thanks for calling.
Guys, keep on doing what you're doing.
All right. Thanks.
See you in the chats.
All right, love you guys. Talk to you
Okay,
later.
love you too.
All right,
Thanks
see
for
ya.
calling.
Bye.
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 All the way from Australia.
Wow, that's great.
Probably costs like $3.
Wonder what the time is over there. Like probably like 17 hours. Like it's like a day and a half.
It'd be like probably
all
like 3 in the afternoon, something like that. Yeah. You know, we used to deal with Justin. No.
Yeah.
Was it Justin?
No, it was a Justin, I think. Yeah. Justin.
In New Zealand, we used to chat with him all the time. And it was like, I think in the winter, he was only 4 hours ahead or four hours behind, but the next day.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that works with
It's
Australia.
further,
Probably
yeah,
like,
it's
oh, she says it's 2 p.m.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
just about right. Yeah.
Welcome to Grimerica.
Hey, boys, it's Lewcifer from the chats.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going, Lewcifer?
Oh, I just got to send some good vibes your way, boys. You sent so many my way, so I just got to give some love back. And
Thanks,
had
buddy.
a nice synchro to start the day with Darren mentioning John Brisson, Gut podcast on that recent Mark Sloan one, and beautiful. And then he's the first caller coming on, so I said, all right, universe is guiding me here.
Absolutely. You're in both chats, right? I think I see you in the Snake Bros chat.
Yeah, I was sent over from the Snake Bros to you guys. Started with Randall, and it all came full circle because I booked the CAC with Randall in the Scablands with you guys. So
Awesome.
So we'll be seeing you in September.
Yeah, I can't fucking wait, boys. Can't wait.
That's going to be quite the adventure. I'm looking forward to it absolutely too. Of course, the Snake Bros will be coming all the way up from Texas. We'll have a good old time Washington style. Of course, Dave Matheson's going to be there as well.
Oh, epic. Beautiful.
We
I
will
just
have
got to say thanks to Graham as well for the Recovery Dharma reading as well.
Oh,
that
good.
was really, really big, yeah.
Oh, right on. Good stuff. Yeah, we have some great meetings up here in Calgary, like 4 or 5 a week now. So
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Ever thought of doing the Octopus of Global Control, putting that out there?
Oh,
we should talk to Charlie about that, eh?
it's pretty thick, but yeah, we would definitely consider it.
Yeah, it'd be good practice for you.
Yeah, I should talk to Charlie. Yeah, I don't think it's so. Have you looked for it? It's not there.
I haven't. I just enjoy your reading.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out for see if Global Control's out there. We got to have Charlie back on because he's on to the new stuff about the man-made climate change and a lot of the documents talking about that conspiracy. So we got to have him back on for their new book too.
Yeah, he's got some incredible ideas. Like that's the kind of stuff we need in today's day and age. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, exactly. That's what I think is important. Yeah, we're gonna hit some. I think we're gonna hit some important topics this year. I really want to dig deep on some stuff.
You guys have started already, so I'm loving it. I'm loving
Right
it.
on.
Right on. Thanks, Lewcifer. Awesome. Thanks for calling in, buddy, and I can't wait to meet you.
For sure. Can't wait to meet you guys as well. Just sending good vibes, and you guys have been huge. I've had some shit happen, and you guys are with me all the time. You guys and the Snake Bros are kicking ass big time.
Right on. Thanks, buddy.
Right on, buddy. Anything, we're glad it helps. We're glad we're glad you're enjoying it and it's keeping you company.
Yeah, man. Good vibes, bro. Okay, talk to you
Good
guys.
vibes, brother.
See you in Washington.
See you in Washington. Cucks. You know that's coming. I think those fucking Snake Bros they made in their chat. So if you put in hashtag cucks, it summons me. We got from Casey in the chats. Just wanted to say hello from Alabama. Congrats on your 400th episode.
Thank you.
I haven't checked out the Facebook at all, but we are streaming there as well, so there could be some comments. Okay, call, audio fix. Love you guys. Happy 400. Colin says, hi from China. I'm quarantined.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, bro. Actually, Colin's been around for a while. Oh, we got BC caller. Welcome, Grimerica. These people realize we have their phone numbers?
Wow. Well, what? You haven't seemed to catch it, have you?
Well, I could say it, but...
No, but you're not catching for the next one. Like, you should be able to remember the number, and if it comes in again, then you don't answer it.
I think that was a new number, wasn't it?
I think it was the same.
Was that the same number?
I'm slacking. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you could probably, like, block that guy.
Yeah.
Before he gets us kicked off YouTube. Yeah, so don't call in like that. There's no need for that, I don't think. Is that where we've gotten? Now we're to the point we got to deal with prank callers?
Yep. This is a good sign.
It's a good sign?
We've reached it. We've made it.
You know you made it when
You
people
can
are
only
calling.
take so much
Okay,
love
this is
without the
not
hate.
that 778 number.
This one's from Humble, Texas.
Ooh.
Oh. Hey, welcome to Grimerica.
What's up? Yeah, it says Humble, Texas, but I'm actually from Houston. You know what I'm saying?
What's your name?
This is Choombo. You probably see me on Twitter, Choombo Lex. My real name is Corey, but yo, this is Choombo. And I was just calling to say happy, 400 episodes? That's what's up.
Yeah, man. I do see on the chats all the time. Choombo, thanks for calling.
That's what's up.
And the Twitter,
Yeah,
that's
not on
right.
the chats, man, but
The
like,
Twitter, yeah,
I
that's
told y'all,
right.
I sent y'all an email. Like, I'm a truck driver, so really I only get like 10 hours down, like when I park, and then I got about 10 hours, so I'm not usually hopping on the chat at the same time that everybody else is. I got about 2 hours, then I got to go to sleep.
Oh yeah, right.
So,
You can't be chatting and truck driving at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? But I listen all the time. I think the show is dope. The show is real good. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to tell y'all that the show is real dope. You know, it's always good to have stuff to listen to, and a lot of shit is kind of trash. Like the internet, I would think would have a lot of interesting stuff on it, but when it comes to audio, like things you can listen to in the truck, it's not really it's not a really good selection. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, it's dope, man. It's dope. I saw Aaron out there shooting. Were you in Texas when you were shooting?
Yeah, I flew into Houston and then I flew back out into San Antonio, and I was hanging out over down in Bandera, Texas, shooting off some guns.
Yeah, I thought you had the shirt on talking about take the shot for the Sasquatch. But don't shoot my boy Bigfoot, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I agree. Hey, what do you think think's the most important topic we should talk about this year?
Man, I don't know if this is in y'all's wheelhouse, but one of the things that I'm really interested in, I've been looking up a lot, is like the different hominids. Because I've heard Graham Hancock talk about it for like that possibly some of those older like archaeological structures may not have been built by Homo sapiens. Maybe it was the Denisovans, maybe it was the Neanderthals, maybe it might have even been like Cro-Magnon man, which was like an ancestor of the modern humans, like one of the first modern humans. So if y'all can find somebody to talk about that, like I love listening to that type of shit. Like the whole Graham Hancock thing is kind of what led me to y'all's show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We agree, man. We love that stuff too. It's fascinating because every year that research is changing.
Yeah, like history keeps getting pushed back, and it's crazy because there's a couple of topics that like were hit on in your show that are kind of like personal to me, and one of them, and it's crazy because when I was younger, I thought it was complete bullshit. Like, you know, you might not be able to, you probably can't tell from my accent, but, you know, like, I'm a black dude, right? But my grandmother on my father's side would always be like, no, we're natives, we're Cherokees, we're not blah, blah. And I just thought that was just kind of like some self-hating type shit. Like, a lot of black people claim to be other things because, you know, it's taboo to be black, especially back in the day. So when they were telling me that shit, it was kind of like, I was like, all right, whatever, this is dumb. But then I forgot who was on your show, and Darren brought it up one time too, that like some people were like, maybe the slave trade was already here, and that they were just told that they were from Africa, but after they were here, I was like, man, maybe there was some credence to that type of shit. But if it's true, then that pushes my personal history back further than I thought it would be in this country. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of stuff is like really interesting to me now. I listen to like I've heard a couple of guests on Joe Rogan talking about it. I've heard a lot of people talk about like the whole history that we learn. Even on the higher side today, one of his guests talking about the way we learn history is so fragmented and fucked up that it might not even if we learn the correct things, we might not be learning them in the correct order and the way history actually happened. Even if we know all the information, it may have happened over a longer period of time. So I think, like, if you could find guests to talk about that, that's the kind of shit I think is, like, really, really interesting right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right on. That's what we'll do. Yeah, I want to do some shows on that DNA stuff and alternative history. And, yeah, I think that's great.
We got to have Randall on again, too, soon and help him push that new Cosmographia podcast. Have you been listening to Randall's new show and the Snake Bros?
I didn't even know Randall had a show. I've listened to the Snake Brothers a couple times, but you know what it is? It's a good thing you reminded me, because every time I hear something, like I hear you talking about the Snake Brothers, I'm driving.
Yeah.
And then I'll park, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck did they say the name of the show? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you think you're going to remember, at the time, you think you're going to remember it, and then you fucking can't.
Exactly, yeah. And then, so, like, I've listened to the Snake Brothers, but y'all have done stuff with them, but I got to remember to, like, because if it doesn't automatically pop up in my podcast, like, you know, on the iTunes or whatever, I just don't hear it most of the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so check out their new show. It's called Cosmographia.
With a K.
Yeah.
Cosmographia with a K.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
Yeah.
That sounds dope, man.
Totally. I think they're like 12 or 15 episodes in.
Oh, word. So they just getting started out. That's what's up. Like, is the whole show about alternative history, or what is the main idea of the show?
It's
Yeah,
probably
it's
a lot
all
about
that.
is it all
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
yeah.
Different topics. It's not just about the flood and all that.
It's flood and history and
Yeah.
and Atlantis and all that great
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, dope. Yeah. I'll definitely check that out, man. Because, like today, there was about an hour worth of today where I was listening to, like, children's stories. This guy does podcasts with children's stories just because I ran out of shit to listen to. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's good to learn new stuff because I'm like, man, you can only listen to, like, music for so long, and then a lot of new music is kind of annoying. So, yeah, that's good. I'm going to check that out. Cosmographia.
Right on.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for calling in, Choombo. Good luck driving that truck. Drive safe.
All right, appreciate that, man. Congratulations again, and y'all keep doing the good work.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, later.
Okay. Talk to you.
Bye-bye. Right on. Calling in like crazy. Did you manage to get rid of the beep now? Or is that just because people stop calling?
Yeah, I turned that off.
Oh,
so
did you?
Now you have to just call in. So
You just got to keep calling.
I think I'm going to try turn it back on, but without the beep.
There you go. You made it so it's busy. We got another call coming in. I have this guy's name. Weird.
I think it goes to
Hey,
voicemail.
welcome to Grimerica.
Hey, how's it going, boys?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Welcome to the show.
Who's calling?
My name's Dustin.
Hey, Dustin.
Hey, can you hear me okay? I'm just on speaker here. I don't have greatest service. So
You sound pretty good. Yep.
Sweet. How things going over there?
Pretty good. It's been fun.
Couple of racists and stuff, but over than that, it's been a pretty good night. A few prank calls.
Nice. Oh, prank calls, eh?
You can't avoid it with the internet, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. They're everywhere, man.
That's a good sign, though.
Yeah. What are you guys chatting about? I haven't been listening to the live show.
Alternative history and synchronicities a little bit. All kinds of stuff like that.
Favorite guests.
Oh, nice.
Directing people to the chats.
What's important to talk about from your side of things?
I don't know, just more state of the world, current events a little bit. It's getting a little weird out there, eh?
Yeah, it's getting a little hectic.
Yeah, with the virus and everything. What do you think about that? What do you think's going on with there?
Well,
I was just traveling internationally, so I was really actively trying not to think about it because I was just like, I do not need to get stuck in Texas. I mean, it'd be a wonderful place to get stuck if you're going to get stuck, but I got kids and responsibilities and stuff in Canada, and I don't need to be locked down, 1,000 miles away from here. But I don't know. I guess, you just have to wait and see. I mean, in 2020, there's so many different possibilities from false flags to fake news to bioweapons to who the fuck knows to selling vaccines to actual pandemics. I mean, I think it's still all on the table.
Yeah, I know. I haven't really looked into it a whole lot, but I've seen a little bit about the Gates Foundation and Johnson & Johnson potentially with the vaccine and stuff. And, there's a U.S. patent floating around. Some people said that's fake, so who knows? But it seems there's a lot of fishy shit going on. So it just seems a little bit overblown. Everybody's kind of freaking out, getting anxiety and buying masks and shit when really, I think personally more people are dying from flu and everything like that. So I don't think it's necessarily anything to worry about. We've been told this same shit with Ebola, SARS, Zika. It's one thing after the other is going to.
I forgot about that one.
And kill us all. So.
Yeah, that's exactly what Darren was saying with another caller. Is it's just one, it's like the boy who cried wolf in a way.
Yeah, exactly. It's just I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit ignorant, but I'm not really worried by it. It's one other thing that's just supposed to keep us in fear again.
Well, and I think sometimes, there's probably a legitimate fear to be had if you're maybe in a third world country or someplace where you have less access to clean water and things like that and antibiotics and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, here in the West, we've got it, we've got it pretty good.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, I guess
in some ways.
I can kind of speak in Western culture because I'm just in BC here, so I'm not far from you guys. But it just seems once again just something a little bit overblown, kind of being shoved down our throats. And I agree there is probably something to be a little bit worried about. But it sounds like most of the deaths that have been caused from this are kind of people elderly and stuff like that, and they're more dying from the pneumonia, I believe, as opposed to the virus. The virus is causing the pneumonia, but if you're healthy
healthy adult, you're probably going to be okay. You have more chances to step out in the street and get hit by the car. So I don't see why everyone's kind of freaking out. There's more things to worry about. But
Well, we got someone in the chats that's saying, okay, so China quarantines 55 million people and it's nothing to worry about. You have literally thousands of villages that are blocking entrances, but don't worry, it's just a flu. And I mean, it could be that. It could be a terrible fucking thing like that, but the flu fucks up a lot of stuff too. And I mean, the problem is when you start plastering it all over all the mainstream media and telling people that it's the fucking end of the world, then people start freaking the fuck out.
exactly, they start acting kind of more primal. It's fight or flight, right? So as soon as, and I am trying to keep in consideration this definitely could be something real bad, but it's just after seeing all this stuff being told over and over again that we're all going to die this time, like it's just another thing,
When we finally do die, we'll be cynical about it. That's the world we've created.
Yeah, for sure. There's that. There's, I don't know, what else is going on here?
Are you in the chats?
No, I'm not really in the chats, man. I'm kind of a retard when it comes to figuring online shit out, man. I tried getting in there about a year ago, and it was chaos. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, we get that. That'll happen from time to time.
Yeah. So how's more locally? How's weather in Calgary? You guys still freezing out there? Is it warmed up a bit?
It's warmed up now.
Yeah, we got that kind of warm spell over here. I'm just in Grand Forks. It's like it's maybe +2 right now, but yeah, we had that cold snap for a while.
Yeah, it's at the point where it's an ice rink everywhere because it melts during the day and then freezes back up at night. So.
Yeah, that's the most fun. I remember that. I spent a couple of years out in Alberta. 1 year in Calgary, 1 year in Red Deer. I think I preferred Red Deer, to be honest, but smaller town. I'm not the biggest city guy, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite episode?
Favorite episode from you guys? I can't think off the top of my head because honestly, I like a lot of you guys' episodes, man. I mean, as much as I do love the help stuff, that's probably on the lesser side, but it's still really interesting. But I love like you guys were just saying what you're talking about. I love the alternative history. I love the controversial topics. I love alternative medicine. That's kind of all the stuff I like.
Right on.
So you guys, for the most part, you guys are pretty bang on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We do what we can.
I love how we do resonate with a few people, right? Not the mainstream, but there's a few people that like it's like when I talk to people that don't know about the show and I ask them about all the, they won't recognize any guests or they'll recognize like half of them.
Yeah.
You're either down this path or you're not even close to it.
Exactly, man. I mean, I recognize maybe, I couldn't even give you a ratio, maybe 1 out of 10, if that, guess. But for the most part, I'm blown away. I start following the guys that you guys have on the show. Sometimes check out the books. I'd like to do more of that, but it's tough to get into the books.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, you guys have a great show. I was a supporter back in the day, but stuff's been a little bit tight, so I'd like to get back into that.
Well, thanks for the support, man. I mean, that's more than most people do. We appreciate it.
Yep.
And thanks for calling in.
Hey, no worries, boys. Have a good one. If I don't catch you again, man, it was nice talking to you guys, and good luck with everything.
Yeah, if you're in Calgary, look us up, buddy.
Oh, for sure, man. I don't know if I will be anytime soon, but who knows? We'll see.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. Take care, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
You too.
You got somebody else signed up there? Or? Nope. All righty.
That's it. We're out of
So
college.
what's another favorite episode of yours then?
Of mine?
Yeah.
Well, obviously the number 160 there.
Yeah. See, it comes from different numbers every time.
I think it's a scrambler. They're calling from a scrambler.
See, this is the problem with our cancel culture now.
What
This
was
is
the guy with the Growing Earth, Neil Adams?
Yeah.
He was a favorite for sure.
Yeah.
Number 160, I want to say. In around 160 somewhere for sure. Man, we should have him on again, actually.
LA.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, hi. Hey, guys.
Hey.
This is Mr. JVL.
Hey, Hey, Mr. JVL. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Your show is really great. Really great. Been watching for several years at this point. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years, I guess. Almost as long as you've been around, I think.
Awesome. How'd you find us?
Oh, man. I don't really remember. I mean, it's just probably stuff related to Randall. There's probably something tangential to like a search under Graham Hancock and Randall.
Yeah.
You know, back a while. And then I was sending money in for a while, and then took a break from that. And then every once in a while, I'll send you something through the chats. I don't know if I have really all that much to say. I just, wanted you to know that your show is so much appreciated, because it's like, it really, to me, it feels like, it's just like what it's like when I'm hanging out with my closest friends, and we don't talk about gossip or really all that much of politics. We'll be able to talk a little bit, but we just kind of really want to get into what we think the world is really like, We want to dig into some kind of deeper truth, like meaning in our lives. And that's what you guys remind me of. You really remind me of all those friends I've had, where we really just get into something that's more spiritual, deeper,
Man, that is great to hear. Like, that's really, really appreciate that. I mean, it's amazing to hear that, because that's really what we kind of wanted to do, is just have like real conversations, and it's great to hear that.
Yeah, man, that's super humbling. Is like, you start this thing out as just a hobby and a fun and a laugh, and all of a sudden you get these phone calls from people that are just loving it, and getting that sort of thing from it, and it's fantastic,
Because we didn't want to change, like we wanted to be able to do this, but without changing, our attitudes. At least we learn a lot, and what I've realized is that the more questions we ask, the less I feel like I know. Like, really, it's one of those things. Like, the deeper you go down into these rabbit holes, like the less I really know about the world. So,
right.
Yeah, we didn't want it to change us as people, but we want to learn from it.
Yeah, no, you guys seem pretty consistent to me, man. You've pretty much been the same people all the way through.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Let us know if we become cucks.
Yeah, I have, that's just a profound concept to cuck. I mean, God, how can we determine, like somebody is in there? God, like what the fuck is that? I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I wanted to thank you again. And that was it.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Thanks, JVL. Okay. Thanks for calling. Have a good night.
Take care.
Bye.
Right on. People are asking where I got my hat. I got it in the Denver airport.
The stickers too. Is it really a clothing line, or
what?
Is it really a clothing line, or?
I think it's new. I don't know. It was just all clothes. There was a teddy bear. There was the hats. There was and the stickers. And I know the website was begoodtopeople.com. So I think you go there and get all the apparel or whatever over there. Did someone text the show now? No. So yeah, that's where I got the hat. I was gonna get a sweater too, but they didn't have a proper hoodie. They only had the shitty hoodies, the like thin ones.
Hello, welcome to Grimerica.
Grimerica.
Who we speaking to?
This is Dave calling from Vancouver Island.
Oh, hey Dave.
Welcome to the show.
Good.
Did you like the freeze-dried potatoes I sent you?
I loved them. They were great.
I'm glad.
I still am going through those potatoes, and I'm fucking loving them.
I just had me some potatoes, and it was excellent.
I'm also enjoying some potatoes tonight.
I love the show, guys. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And for a future topic that I think is probably important is MAID. In Canada, at least, the MAID program, right?
Give us a rundown of what that is.
That's the medical assistance in dying.
Oh, is that that's legal now, right?
Yeah, it's been legal for a couple of years, but they're still trying to iron it out, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, if a guy wants to die, it seems like a no-brainer.
Well, I think it's just time, right? Like, we should move on as a society and kind of make that available to the people that need it. We're still keeping the people that are keeping people protected in the program itself, right? We don't want it to get out of hand, but I think it should be made available.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like we say we're from a free country, but you don't even have the freedom to die.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you do now.
Well, yeah.
But
they'll be looking at the rules this summer again, so just keep your ears open.
Yeah, we'll do for sure. Where do you live on the island?
Halfway up. I live in the Comox, Cumberland, Courtney Valley.
Oh yeah, cool. Excellent.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, man. You look outside, it's like a postcard in front of your eyes all day long.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, I got to get out to the island again, man. I've only been out there once, and it's fucking great out there. I really enjoy it. I got to get my kids out there.
Yeah, there's a good vibe on the island for sure.
Totally. And I could go surfing in Tofino.
Yeah, you can feel it right when you get over there. You know, there's you could drive through these areas where there's no sidewalks and curbs, and it's just nice streets, and yeah, it's awesome.
We got busted smoking a joint in the truck on the ferry.
Really?
Yeah, and they were like, if we catch you down here again, the cops will be waiting for you on the other side.
When was that?
That would have been 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
19 or 20 years ago. That was before I moved to Calgary.
Yeah.
Well, I got off the line. I just want to congratulate you guys again, and I say I love the show. I listen to it all the time, and I just wishing everybody good vibes in 2020.
Thanks, buddy. That's awesome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for
brothers.
listening.
Okay, take care.
Later, bro. What do you got from Magnetar? Happy 400 from Kentucky. How about some space-related stuff? Hubble, fake pics, etc. Well, space is fake. Someone keeps calling me Jeff Goldblum. I don't see it.
It could be your tone of voice or something.
Nashville. Hey, welcome to Grimerica.
Hey, how's it going? It's all my friends are brainwashed.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Oh, perfect. We're all nervous now. Every time someone calls us, they're going to blurt out some...
What's your name?
My name is Julian.
Julian. Okay, right on. Thanks for calling in.
It's nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, you too. Well, I know you want to talk about some stuff.
I do indeed. It's the transhumanism agenda, and myself being transgender and conservative, as I said, really kind of gets on my nerves, especially with the Q movement and how woke we're supposed to be with researching everything and kind of being open-minded and optimistic about the future. I feel like at the end of the day, we just have more in common. The ones who do not kind of try to indoctrinate people and push lifestyles on people and just try to live as normal humans who want gun rights, who want children to be children and not be influenced by adults. And I just see how smart our community can be, but how indoctrinated we can be at the same time, how we can be manipulated. And it's really frustrating as being youth and seeing every single movement that starts in a positive aspect, but then ends up getting infected, and then seeing it go from divide and conquer. At the end of the day, none of us can get on the same page. It's always, oh, we can't get along with this group because of this.
Yeah.
We can't come together because of this. And it's so annoying to see, because I come from Romania personally, and my parents have lived through a dictatorship. So we know how it is to have war in our backyard. We know how it is to see corruption. And I know 2020 is all about the Great Awakening. So if we're going to have a Great Awakening, I feel like we need to come on the same page. The ones who are not trying to hurt children, and that's what I dedicate my Instagram to, is not picking sides, not liking Trump or disliking Trump or whatever. It's the pure fact of that we need to stop hating each other and just unify together.
Yeah, that's a great message.
Totally. Well, that's like, I mean, I think that's like the ultimate thing that scares them the most. Like us getting along on something. That's why they just need to keep driving as much division as possible. Man versus woman, us versus them. That's just it.
Oh, yeah.
Us, me versus you. Everything versus everything.
So have you been like fairly well accepted in the conservative community?
I'm trying to. Like, I've been blacklisted here where I live in Nashville. I've been blacklisted by the trans community and queer community because of my beliefs, and it's prevalent. I love to talk about it. A few years ago, I got this seed planted in me. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I have this burning fire inside to just help, to just spread a message of a little bit less hate. And people don't like to hear that, especially my age of being 22. They do not like to hear that. They want to stick with ignorant ideology and to hate each other. They want to say that they are woke, or we love peace, we want this, we want that. But when it comes down to the nitty and gritty, they don't want to get along with people. So I've been blacklisted, and I'm trying to become I don't like copying people, but because I am trans, I feel like maybe I can get to a brighter spectrum.
Yeah.
And because I am conservative, that I can reach more people. And I've actually have a few people that I've met on Instagram. I think her name is the Peel Back Report, and we both started talking about we got in a debate over the trans agenda, and I was trying to explain to her, like, we're not all bad. I'm not going around. I would kick someone's ass too, if, excuse my language, if they brought a drag queen to my school for my children. Period. I would go in that school and I would have major problems. It's like bringing a stripper to a school. Why are drag queens reading to my children? That's absolutely ridiculous and not appropriate at all. So there's this female named Blair White, and she's really big in the conservative movement, and she's a trans activist, and she is very, very logical and very smart. She's even been on I want her to be on Tinfoil Hat. I feel like that would be a very good episode. But I'm trying to reach more people like that. My message is to try to bring people together, because I'm scared of the future.
Yeah.
If we, in theory, the slaves who run everything, we should all get along. I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, you didn't. That's great. I mean, I was. There's also a deeper issue, I think, too, right? Like, I think what you're saying is, has the Q community been sort of brainwashed by the hate on the other side to not accept, like, is that kind of what's happening in a way as well?
Yeah, like it baffles me how smart the community can be and how well versed they can be with research, but when it comes down to anybody that kind of makes them uncomfortable, they instantly shut that down.
Right.
Instantly. There's no logic. It's pure religion, and I get it. To each their own. Like, here in Tennessee, I know some of my friends say we don't like Trump because he wants to pass laws where employers can discriminate.
Right.
Well, if they discriminate, you don't go to that job. No queer person is going to go work at Chick-fil-A if they know that Chick-fil-A doesn't like those kind of people. It's 2020, man. We can create apps to better advise people not to work at certain employers. Why should I try to push my lifestyle on you if you don't like it? That's your own personal preference. That's what makes America cool. That's why I came here. If you don't like it, that's fine. By all means, I will not work for you, and I will not associate myself with you. I will go somewhere else. And the big prevalent companies are still going to have laws in place with their companies to where they're not going to allow discrimination.
Yeah.
So people are like the Unabomber manifesto was absolutely correct. The rich white college kids who ruined everything. Society made it really, really sensitive to where we read one thing and we instantly get upset. Oh, this cake guy doesn't want to make a cake for this queer person. He shouldn't have to. He's an artist. It's okay. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like 2 million other cake people who can make your damn cake. You just want this guy to make your cake? Come on.
Yeah.
It's a little silly.
Yeah.
And
plus the media blows it out of proportion as well, you know.
You said what now?
I was just thinking, and plus the media blows it out of proportion, so you never really know what's really going on because it's just, you know, there's a big loudspeaker from the media.
Oh, yeah, and they're constantly lying.
Yeah. What else were you going to say there?
It
Sorry.
blows my mind. You said what now?
What else were you going to say before I interrupted you?
It blows my mind. 4 years ago, LGBTQ could get married overnight over some shady thing that was going on, but that's a different conversation. But 4 years ago, LGBTQ could get married. It's 2020, and our approval ratings are down, and everybody thinks trans people are like some pedophiles, this and that, and it sucks because pedophiles have found their way into the community just by slapping a label that they're transgender. They can get away with anything, and now they can even get out of prison easier. Pedophiles can get out of prison easier now if they say that they're a female and they're male, because supposedly prison rates can say that since they're female, that they have less likelihood of convicting that felony again because of the hormones that they get, which they're not even taking hormones, but that's a whole different other thing. So these people are these sickos are finding loopholes within the community and tearing it down. So 4 years ago, we could get married. Now it's kind of like, I don't really want a trans person around me or a queer person. And that's a big shame. And that's just a whole nother divide and conquer. And it scares me as youth.
Is that what you mean by approval rate? What do you mean by approval rating then? Like as in an acceptance rate sort of thing? Like
Yeah, like whenever you'd get those phone calls or those little surveys online and ask you, are you okay with this community and this community, the ratings used to be higher. They used to be like, yes, LGBTQ are accepted through the U.S., this is the statistics on this, and now it's 2020 and it's dropped.
So it's almost working. So it's working against the activists in a way. It's so extreme that it's pushing people away then?
Exactly. And half these activists, I think they're hired. Like the ones who do really extreme things and go on stage and yell about things that, a normal person really wouldn't care about. Not logically. I think sometimes they're just kind of like talking heads and maybe like crisis actors to an extent.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think most people, there's a few people that aren't accepting, but most people are pretty accepting, I think, and if they're not, brainwashed in this.
For sure.
Yeah.
And another thing.
Take a special kind of
you
asshole.
cannot be transgender if you have a beard. That takes away the whole entire definition of being transgender. Transgender is when you're born with something that you absolutely don't like. And because you don't like this, you want to put your money into getting rid of this. So you cannot be a trans woman, male to female, right? Oh, so confusing. Male to female, and then have a beard and say you're transgender. That's not the way it works. Because female to male doesn't have that luxury to have, let's say, their breasts. Like, oh, I like my breasts one day. Oh, I don't this day. And now these people are finding these little loopholes, and now they're making the trans community look bad. Like a man dressed up in woman's clothing with fake boobs and a beard. No. You are not a trans person. You are just trying to get some attention right now, because that completely destroys the definition of transgender. It's body dysphoria and gender dysphoria. You don't get to pick to have one beard one day and not the other day. That's very offensive to the trans community. And the ones who do it right, such as myself, if you saw me on the street, you wouldn't even know my business unless I chose to tell you my business.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you my business because I want to live in harmony.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So are you going to get are you going to start up a YouTube channel or anything like that, like Blair, or are you going to do something, put yourself out there a little bit more?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this podcast up and running this year. I already did a little sampler with this nurse who is against vaccines, and she's very, very well-versed on vaccinations.
Wow.
And I want to make her my co-host.
Wow, that's
So
great.
I want to do a little, I want to do a little local thing in my area, and I want to interview at the beginning, I want to interview anybody. I want to get people uncomfortable and to start talking, because all we hear is don't talk about this, don't talk about this, and don't talk about this. Well, why the hell not can't we talk about this? Why can't I know how you think, so that way you can be a little bit more mindful in the future? If you know about this and you've heard it, when you're going to do something and you're going to act on something, at least you'll be more mindful. And that can raise up the frequency and the vibrations of us unifying together. And I really love that podcast you did. I don't remember her name because I'm god-awful at names. But it was about the frequencies and them raising back in 2012, and I thought that was absolutely fantastic.
Right on. That's great.
That brings back a few episode memories.
Yeah, yeah. Well, make sure you let us know when you do start that up, and we'll talk about it. Or maybe we'll have you on for an intro or something like that.
For sure, I would love that. You guys are great, and honestly, you guys are the biggest reason why I even started this. I remember 2 years ago, I found you guys on Spotify, and I will never look back since.
Awesome.
You guys and Jamie. I wanted to give Jamie a shout out too, because Jamie deserves love.
Awesome. Thanks.
Right
Thanks
on.
so much.
Of course. Y'all have a great day.
Okay,
You
thanks
too.
for calling in.
Thanks for calling.
All right.
Yeah, no problem.
Right on. So, what was your other favorite episode?
Oh, geez. I mean, honestly, it's hard to say.
Hello.
You're one to fucking talk,
No.
bro.
Wow, eh? This
Just
is a good
nonsense.
sign. This is a good sign. Usually you don't get that many trolls interacting with us. So, we've reached the troll level.
We got an army of trolls after us. Last time it was the flat earthers.
Do you remember with James Brown? I mean, electricity in the ancient Egyptians? I mean, that was
What's the electric sperm?
That was a fun one. Yeah, that was a fun one.
What number was that?
That was 180. Oh, no. It was 180.
Well, so that must have been
I
like
just had it. 180. 180.
3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Welcome to Grimerica.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Happy 400.
thanks.
You guys are harder to get a hold of than CNN.
Who's calling?
Oh, this is Kyle calling down by Medicine Hat.
Hey,
Oh,
Kyle.
hey, Kyle.
Thanks for calling.
Hey, yeah, I was just calling, wondering when you guys are going to be making it down here one of these days.
Well, Medicine Hat, eh? Well, I'd like to go to that medicine wheel again this summer at some point.
Plus, we'd
Have
like.
you ever heard of the mystery rocks?
Is that those rocks? No, that's not the medicine wheel, is it? Is it different?
No, it's different. It's down in Saskatchewan in
Yes.
Cypress Hills.
Right over the border. Yeah. I heard about those last year when I was in Medicine Hat, actually.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get out there for a while, but I haven't made it yet, so it would be quite the place to look at.
Well, we should
They're
do a little
big
like.
monolith
We
sort of
should.
looking thing.
Yeah, we should do a little like day trip Grimerica CAC, like a little mini CAC, like a day trip.
Yeah, something like that would be good. There's a lot of flood evidence around here, too.
Yeah.
Totally.
We did a CE5 in Red Rock Canyon out there south of Medicine Hat, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's a good spot over
Yeah,
there.
that was fantastic. Yeah, that was great.
Have you been there, Michael? You were in Medicine Hat for a long time.
No, I didn't go into Saskatchewan. No.
No? Yeah, I get down with that. We could do like both. There's a couple good spots because I'd like to go check out that. We should get Buddy to show us the Stonehenge before he passes away. He's like almost 100. You think
that doctor from Calgary that you had on your show.
I forget his name now, but
Yeah, I can't remember it either.
it escapes me right now. His
Well,
book's
it's the
on the
same
shelf
name. It's
over
the
there.
same name as that superhero guy, right?
That's helping.
The black superhero. Yeah. I'll think of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I could totally get into a little Alberta, little day trip. There's the Big Rock. There's a bunch of cool stuff here.
That would be good because there's definitely a few things worth checking out. I was hoping that Randall Carlson would be coming out this way one of these times, but not anytime soon by the sounds of it.
No, I don't think so. Hey, Carl, have you ever been to see that Donna? She's a alternative healer there in Medicine Hat. There's a store with a bunch of awesome crystals and some healing beds and all kinds of crazy stuff.
No, I've never been there. I know where the float tank is in Medicine Hat, but I've never been. What do you know what the name of this place is?
Yeah, I'll have to find it for you now, but it's incredible. Have you been there, Michael? Or?
I talked to her on the phone. She's,
Donna Ray, her name is. Yeah.
Yeah, if we're talking about the same person, she's got a doctorate in like
She's
4 or 5 different things.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
there's only 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I like to exaggerate.
And then they're all naturopathic.
But
type
she
stuff.
refuses to go all corporate, so she won't keep her doctorate thing together. So she just like basically gives the knowledge away.
Yeah.
Just give it away. Why don't we have her on the show?
Yeah, we should one day.
Yeah, you
maybe.
should actually.
Natural Healing Clinic. I think it's called Natural Healing Clinic. It's yeah, and she's got she does courses and all that. It's on 8th Street Southeast there.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's pretty mind blowing. I think she's got like a Rife machine there and a whack of crazy expensive crystals. I can't remember the type that they are.
Do you know Brian?
No, I don't.
He's the other Brian from the hats, the other medicine hat listener that comes to.
We should get a little meet up together.
Yeah, that'd be a good excuse for you guys to all meet each other.
Yeah. I'm out on the farm here a little bit, so I don't know a ton of people from Medicine Hat. I'm really close to that Badlands Guardian. That's about where I live.
Cool.
Probably got nice dark skies.
But anyways, yeah, I've been listening to you guys since I think you had Robert Schock on. Big fan of the show. You guys do really good work and have a lot of great guests on. So I just want to congratulate you on episode 400 and keep it up.
Right on. Thanks, buddy.
Right on. Thanks.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye bye. Another Medicine Hat listener. There's quite a few of them.
More local people than you think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Google like spins it that way. Welcome to Grimerica.
Wow, already.
Hey guys, this is Jeff.
Hey Jeff, thanks for calling. Huh. What a weird call-in show.
Yeah, that's strange, eh? That's what happens when you open up the phone lines, eh?
Next time we need a screener.
And this is the problem with cancel cultures, and people can come in and say they can do whatever they want and call in, just like a chat room, and then people can say, "Oh, look at the people they have in the chat. Look at the da-da-da."
Next,
and then you get the hate for people just calling in, right? That's the problem with this restriction on free speech and stuff, right?
We gotta figure out a way to screen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they get you. 819.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. Welcome to the show.
How's it going? It's Paul.
Hey, Paul.
I'm not a prank caller. That's finally good, eh?
Yeah, that is a good sign.
So I just want to call in and say thanks for everything you guys did.
Wow, thank you. Thanks for the kind words.
Good vibes.
How many shows have you listened to?
All of them.
Is this Paul Savage?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey, Paul. We got a bit of feedback, but it's good to hear from you. You're one of my favorite people in the chats.
Good to hear that. Good to hear that.
How's ski season?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Field trips are finally starting up, so things are getting interesting.
Is that where you listen to the show?
Usually, yeah. That's for sure.
Who's your favorite guest?
Favorite guest?
John Brisson?
I got love for John.
You guys had a rough start, but it did turn out pretty good.
Yeah, I'm over it, though.
Oh, I might have lost him.
Thanks for calling in, Paul.
Welcome to Grimerica.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
Hey, this is Dan. I'm the one who emailed Graham during the Christopher Knowles episode.
Oh, that's awesome! Yeah, that's awesome.
I haven't listened to the Copter Twins since that episode, so
Either have I.
It's just kind of like I noticed, like, like music, movies, sports, and pretty much almost everything is something you can't. Is something you can't watch anymore.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, or listen to new music.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like everything that comes out is like has some agenda. I mean, You know, it's weird.
Do you think that
all woke.
even though there's a lot of people like still obsessed with it, do you think that that's like a sign that that's the beginning of the end and it won't last very long? Or
Well, I don't know about that. I think it's just they're just trying harder and harder and harder until you know. I think it's like it's harder for them now though because of the internet. You know?
Yeah.
And then every time like some fake news comes on, they go, "Oh, that's fake. Kobe Bryant thing's fake," you know, or a false flag or something like that.
Or he got taken out.
Yeah.
It is crazy. It's the day after his record. I mean, it's crazy. How can it not be a fucking simulation?
did you see the score in the football game equaled in gematria equaled Kobe death?
No, come on. Gematria can equal fucking anything.
Oh my god.
Well, what do you mean? I mean, it's a code. It only equals one thing.
It doesn't.
I mean,
no, remember we were going through it that one time.
That's not fair.
Like
that's
10
not fair.
different
No,
things.
that's an email. That was not fair. That might not have been gematria.
Huh.
That might have been a troll.
Well, I don't know, because you brought that to the table, and now all gematria is in question.
See, I gotta
because it was like the same number meant 7 to like 33 was like 4 sentences.
Yeah, I know that was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was crazy.
That was my fault. I didn't screen that one prior enough.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you know, I just appreciate you guys and you know, donate to the show. You know,
Oh, thanks.
And, you know, congratulations on 400, and you know, discovered so many things from you guys, and you know, like things like that I do daily now, like listening to No Agenda. I had never heard of it, believe it or not, before you guys interviewed John C. Dvorak. Now it's like I can't get enough of that, you know?
Awesome.
And Sam Tripoli and Chimpo Hat, I found that guy through you guys, and it's just like amazing. And
that's
even
great.
Scott Adams, you know, his podcast or his Periscope, you know, like it's like, my God, you know, like you just keep on going, like each rabbit hole you go through, it's like, wow, I can't stop listening to this, you know?
Yeah, that's great. What do you think we should talk about this year? Any topics that you think we should discuss?
Well, I think like keep on the same lines of trying to uncover this hidden agenda type of thing, and you know, keep the shining light on it as much as you can.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm looking forward to you guys having Scott Adams on again, and you know.
Yeah, I got to message him again. He fell off. He probably heard that I was going to debate him on slippery slopes, and he chickened out.
He had to hit all the mainstream stations and all at first. He's pretty.
Oh yeah.
He's grown in popularity even since we last had him on quite a bit. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, totally appreciate you guys, and you know, I think the Scott Adams, John C. Dvorak, Christopher Knowles, and Sam Tripoli, all those guys. Those are my favorite episodes that you guys have done.
Right
and
on.
Of course, everything is good. You know.
Yeah.
Randall Carlson, all those guys. So.
Thanks a lot.
Anyway, just wanted to see if I could get in.
Totally. You did. I mean, I think most people are getting in between the crank callers, but we appreciate you calling in and expressing the sentiments.
All right. Well, take care, guys, and I'll keep listening.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the support.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you.
Couple more favorites. Jim Lee, the weather modification. I mean, if anybody is interested in the history of weather modification, check out 292 and Jim Lee. And then one of the later ones that we did from the
No caller ID.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was just wondering when you're going to get up and
Hang on.
sit on that microphone.
As soon as it was a private name, you should have known. Is it the same guy? Is it one guy? Is it an army of guys?
sounds like
from all it's coming from like all sorts of different places.
Marshall Lefferts was another great one. That cosmometry, I love that. Number 360. Thaddeus Russell was a good one.
Ooh, Thaddeus. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
What number are you back to? Are you going to go all the way back to 1?
No, I was.
What about Ephraim, number 1?
No, I'm just.
You know what? If Ephraim would have said no.
Yeah.
To the first interview.
Yeah.
He took a big chance on us.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah.
If he would have said no, the whole fucking thing could have taken a different different turn. I agree, Tyrell. It's turtles all the way down.
All right.
It's just turtles stacked on turtles stacked on turtles.
Well, we didn't really do this thing to just hear people say, that, their thanks and stuff. It's nice to hear, but we just wanted to do a call-in show just with ourselves and not a big shit show on Zoom or something like that. And talk to people about what they want to talk about. Give people a chance to tell their stories or whatever.
We just got like 10 new books in the mail today.
Yeah.
10 new rabbit holes.
Dude,
we've
got so many people we want to talk to. I can't wait.
So, are we out of callers now?
Yeah, let's wrap this thing up. It's been 2 hours and 40 minutes almost.
We went 240.
It was a great idea, though. I think I'm glad we did it. It was great to chat with everybody.
Yeah, it worked out good. I mean, it'd be nice to figure out a way where we don't have to put up with the fake calls and stuff like that. But, we got an army of trolls in the chat room here, too. I'm trying to police. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I'm telling you, it's a good sign. You get that percentage of people interacting.
Last caller. Let's take this call. Get ready to hang up just in case. Hello.
Hey, man. This is JVL again. I'm calling you back because I forgot I am a patron of the show.
Oh. I knew you were a patron. I've seen that.
I wanted to put that out there because I really highly recommend it, to anybody that's enjoying it, because you guys you're contributing a lot, man. And I know you're about to get off you're about to end it. I wanted to mention The Crow, that episode where he talked about the moon.
Yep.
Damn, dude. I'm not saying I believed any of it or felt like any of it was. I'm halfway thinking I loved every part of that. I loved every part of that. That somebody who thought that much about something like that and has gone to so much lengths to just dig into something that sounds like insanity, basically. But it does touch on something about the moon, where everybody feels like something is kind of fucked up about the moon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's out there. And I remember listening to that and I was like, fuck, this is only a Grimerica. Would this guy get an hour to just tell the whole fucking story of what he thinks is going on in the moon, And it was, it's worth it. It was totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm out, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Right
hey, thanks for your support, man. It does, honestly,
love the show.
It pays the rent and all the bills, dude. It really does help. The bills add up here, so.
It says something. It's such a small amount of money that I forgot I was doing.
That's awesome.
Right. So it's like everybody should just do it. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Right on. Yeah. Thanks to all the supporters who make this possible.
Yep.
Make everything go. Make the. Are you just going to keep taking cut? Welcome to the show.
What's up?
Hey, who's calling?
Can you hear me better? Can you hear me better now?
Totally. Way better.
All right.
Is this Paul again?
I had a phone case on, and I guess it was interfering.
I had Paul come back so I could hang up on him again.
Oh, perfect.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. Hey, might as well start the show with John and finish it with me, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's a great way to do it, yeah.
Yeah. Yin and yang.
Ram his man down. Are you hitting your bong right now?
Yes, sir.
Attaboy. What are you smoking?
Purple Urkel.
Nice. Just about bedtime. And you stayed up late? Must be like midnight over there almost?
Yeah, midnight.
Well, we appreciate that. What, so you've been around for a few years now.
Yeah.
What, who, if you got to pick, give me a favorite guest. Truffaut?
Favorite guest overall, besides Randall Carlson and all them.
Who would you love to hear back? Would you love to hear again?
You know who I haven't heard in a really long time? I didn't like for a long time, but I'm open to right now. Would be somebody like damn, I can't remember his name. He's a comedian.
Tripoli?
No, from the original days.
He's been on before?
Yeah, one of the first. I can't think of his name right now.
Comedians we had. Ooh, was it the guy who did the weed documentary?
No.
I forget his name too. Man, when you get up to 400, you start forgetting a lot of them. It gets tough.
Yeah, I know, especially when you go back early. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. It's probably from that bong rip.
There you go. You should have wrote it down. That's okay. When you think about it, you can just spit it in the chats.
Yeah, exactly. I'll Google it when I'm off anyways.
How do you enjoy the chats?
I love it. It's a great community.
Absolutely. And we joked about John and Paul because they used to not get along, but then now they do, kind of.
They have their own channel now.
They have their own chat.
Bickering and squabbling.
Yeah. Anybody wants to argue, that's where we hang out.
That's right. Bickering and squabbling.
Cool. Well, the chats are tons of fun. I'm addicted to it myself.
Totally.
Yeah. It's better than all the other social media out there.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't imagine being on any of the others. I'd be in trouble on Twitter for sure.
Yeah, I'm finally starting to wane off of all of them.
Off of the socials? I've been off Facebook a long time now. Years.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard
I'm finally
though.
letting go.
Because now to get into some other community, I got a drone and they're like, oh, there's a bazillion everything in Facebook chats. You just got to go in there. That's where we all are.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, I'll go out to the field by myself and fly my plane then.
Does Facebook own Discord yet? Who owns Discord? I don't even know.
Google, I think.
Is it Google?
Or at least it's on Google servers, so they control it.
They got the goods. Well, right on, Paul. I couldn't think of a better person to wrap up the call-in show with than someone I get to chat with every other day in the chats.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for calling back.
Thanks for calling back.
Have a great night, guys.
You too, brother. Much love. Thanks for the support.
Happy 400.
Thanks for all the support, brother. We love it.
Yeah, good vibes.
Good vibes.
Did you ever watch Bill Cosby when he had a kids show? Did you ever see that?
No.
And he had what was it? This thing that he looked into? It was like this. It was like an iPad basically that he looked into, and he could look in on anyone else, and then he'd do a little thing about them. I don't know. Anyway,
that sounds creepy.
I don't know a ton of Cosby, but that sounds creepy in retrospect.
Yeah, it was in the 70s. But that's kind of how it's like. I'm thinking about that right now. I'm like, I see Ryan from Kansas in the chats. He didn't call in. He's still up.
Ryan didn't call?
I see Skanky Owlet in there. Kate can call back.
None of them.
Feeling shy.
Yeah. That's okay. We're out of time anyway. And Graham is like man down. He abandoned ship.
All right. I should probably go home anyway.
Yeah. Right on, Paul. Thanks for calling, buddy. Shut down that phone. Thanks, everybody, for tuning into the live show. Thanks to Graham for co-hosting it. Not 100% sure what went down there, but I think he's feeling sick or something.
He got a nosebleed.
A nosebleed?
I think
He's got a fucking nosebleed? Is that one of the coronavirus things?
Oh, shit. No, I bet it would be there's probably a van sitting outside with some sort of a laser weapon or something.
He's getting zapped by the thing. It's just all this being surrounded by all the fucking cables. Anyway, thanks to all you guys. Support the show if you can. Grimerica.ca/support. do all the other stuff in the show notes. Without all the listeners, there wouldn't be a... Oh boy, the chats are having fun with Graham's nosebleed.
I haven't relapsed.
Ebola. Graham says he has not relapsed. Anyway, without the listeners, there would be no show. Without the supporters, there would be no show. Without all the people we mentioned a little earlier on, there would be no show. Without Michael, was someone we forgot to thank. Michael's a huge help around here. And we love all you motherfuckers. We couldn't do this without you. We wouldn't be here without you. Grimerica.ca/support. We love you. Sign up for the newsletter. Tell your friends about this motherfucker. And thanks for listening. And we will see you next week.
Some say they like coast to coast, but on demand, raw and uncut interviews, and all without no ads. One says false and one says true, and the rate your sync grows too. Grimerica is here for you. Stories from the listeners, they sent to Graham. He'll read them and be amazed, but Darren may say no. One says red and one says blue, but if it's balls it just won't do.